Fables, our Tomb of Annihilation adventure. I'm Spencer, your DM. We are sans Hana today, but that is okay. We still have Mia playing our languid Lucia Aurora. We have Guy playing our outgoing Olaf Brandtrokk. Our Abby playing our exquisite Elspeth Amirasdottir. And Riley playing our humble hope Amirasen. Hello and welcome everybody to the game.
Hello, it's been so long.
It has, yeah.
I missed this game.
I had a very good Curse of Strahd session last week. I'm now 2 recaps behind on that game because I completely forgot to write the recap for it. And they're a month between each session, so they're going to be a little light on details. But that happens. Speaking of recaps, what the heck happened last time?
We evicted people from their home.
You did.
So we essentially, the final chimney that led up to the top of Firefinger was like a corkscrew, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that.
It was just very steep.
Anywho, we tried climbing it, and Levi did this amazing job of driving Titans into the side so that we could help a guide rope so that everyone can get up more easily. Yeah, they did too good of a job somehow and alerted the Terrafolk to our presence.
They made too much
noise. Which meant they were very ready for us and surrounded the opening that led up to the top. So what we had to do is scamper our way up, fighting through while trying to kill their elder, which we ended up doing. Who can remind me who killed the elder? Did he fall to his death?
I think Elspeth got the last shot. Either that or it was Lucia throwing the spear back at him. I can't remember which.
Well, he caught it, I believe.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I think it was me with. I just finished him up with damage. I didn't actually stun him.
That's what it was. All right.
Anyways, we flavored it, I believe, to him falling to his death.
Exactly, yeah.
Because he was
fell
flying
300
over us.
feet. So, instant 3 loss of death saves. Well, he would have done enough damage to put himself in the negatives. Anyway, point stands.
You got destroyed by 2 angry ladies.
Yep. As is tradition.
And everyone else was just sort of there.
Yep.
Anywho, if I'm not mistaken, afterwards we basically negotiated with the remaining Terrafolk to basically like, we'll leave you alive, just give us what we want and leave and don't do this shit ever again.
Yeah, that's correct. And you don't know how well they believe you, but they seemed very scared and were at least willing to accept your terms for now, and they left.
We found a tiger mask for Azaka. We're still unsure of her particular origin.
I forgot to do that. I'm sorry. I'm going to look that up real quick.
No. She explicitly chose to not share with us at that time.
Yes.
I believe.
Because I had not written it down yet. Because the actual ability, Ra, is just that she can speak with animals once a day as a ritual, which is the dumbest power in an NPC.
Yes.
Like, you watch her make bird noises at a bunch of birds. Great.
Besides the fact that we already have Volk.
Exactly. Hope who can
Stop playing it to me.
Can't do it.
Oh no, made the same character twice. I don't know if that was the actual trope that was happening. Anyways, after that, we decided to stay in the hatchery, if I'm not mistaken, which is also where they kept their treasure.
Yep.
And we were resting for the night before moving on.
Oh, we
invited. Yes, we invited the Aarakocra fellow to join us for the evening.
Yep.
Oh, we do a long rest and a level up?
Yeah, I mean, we hadn't decided yet. You guys were climbing up throughout the latter half.
We were deciding between doing that and using more of the day because timer.
Yeah, you woke up at noon, got to the
have
top
enough XP
around 5,
for a level up.
So.
Yeah, some of us are basically like
I think most people were actually missing XP for level 4, which was the main reason why we were like, oh, maybe we move on a bit. Either way, I would at least like to short rest, because I'm at 6 HP and I'm out of key points.
You can absolutely do that.
And if people decide to long rest instead, I don't mind, but I'm behind the threshold, so...
Yeah, I also don't think it's... I don't think it's really been long enough for us to long rest again. Because, like, rules is written, you can only long rest so many times per 24 hours. Yeah.
Okay, I need to open up Azaka's character sheet real quick and add her new beast mask powers.
She's a
by the way, Riley, the donuts are actually really good. I'll send you the recipe if you want.
Ooh, good donuts.
I don't have an air fryer.
Would you like to join my cult? Sorry, would you like to buy an air fryer?
Air fryer is pretty good.
I had a air fryer when I lived with my parents, but I moved away.
I see.
So let's make a long talk short. Are we going to short rest and then move down the tower and then continue on traveling a bit?
That sounds
question.
good. Sounds good.
I would vote yes.
I think that's probably the best, considering what everyone said.
That is two.
I think what the mask is going to do is going to give her the equivalent of a 3rd level cleric in terms of spell slots. She is going to have a limited set of spells, however. So the spells that she will tell you that she can cast, her 2nd level spell is she gets Lesser Restoration.
Useful.
Just going to add those to her character sheet real quick. Which she can
What's that
cast
spell? Feral form?
twice a day. Isn't there one where you just have 1 2nd level spell slot? Is that 2nd level cleric? No, it's either 0 or 2. Okay then.
I mean, you could also just
5th
make
edition.
it not actual cleric levels, but just with the mask
I
you
could
can
make it
cast it once
charge.
per day.
I could do make it charges. That works too.
Yeah, charges or like X time per day you can cast this, X time per day you can cast this.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to do it.
And then if you want her to become stronger cleric-wise, you can just have the mask unlock new powers as she levels up or something.
You are very wise. Thank you for your patience, everybody. So
No worries. I was
Beast
just thinking
mask.
that there's that spell, I don't know if it's a druid or cleric spell, where they basically get like a beastish form and they can do a bite and slash attack. I don't know if that would be relevant here.
I don't feel like that's an
Cantrip.
ability she would have from this mask. I do know what spell
Well, it's
she's
more
going
like
to have.
The mother was more like a shaman, right?
Yeah. So she was. She started telling you last time that the Eshaway were a tribe of people that lived on this island, contemporary with the Tabaxi, who lived on this island initially when Ubtao created it. Her people were generally animistic, whereas the Tabaxi worshipped Ubtao. The Tabaxi were there for Ubtao's favorite, and they were allowed to live in Mesro with him at his side. And the Eshaway and the Tabaxi had civil wars. Eventually, the civil war came to its head, and the Eshaway called on some dark powers to attack the city of Mesro. The dark powers backfired, and they were driven away by their own powers. The paladin defender of Mesro, one Raz Nisi, chased after them from that point on. Raz Nisi is a figure of folklore and legend in the region, because Raz Nisi was given the power by Ubtao to raise the dead in defense of Mesro. Raz Nisi, however, proved to be a little too eager to kill the Eshaway. He raised all of the dead of the Eshaway and sent them after their fellows, and they were genocided in the Valley of Lost Honor to the south. As a result, Raz Nisi was exiled from Mesro because they were so horrified by what he did. But there was no more Eshaway, except for what few survivors, such as Azaka's mother, who took them into the mists, into some faraway land, which seems familiar to some of you who have some background with Dread Plains. Azaka's mother would eventually come back. They wandered the forest for a while, until, of course, she got picked up by the Terrafolk at Firefinger. So, Azaka's very glad to have the mask back. Once per day, she can cast Lesser Restoration, and 3 times per day, she has the following spells from the cleric spell list, which is probably going to be 1st level spell slots. Probably going to be a Cure Wounds.
Classic.
And Cure Wounds. Sanctuary makes sense. Maybe a Guiding Bolt will be her other one.
Hey.
Ah! No, I hit the Windows key on accident.
Can clerics get smites? I don't know.
No.
They do not. No, that's a paladin thing.
I don't know.
I don't think they get any of the spell smites.
Yeah, that sucks.
Okay, so
It
she
makes
can
sense.
she can
Because
cast
it's
3 first level spells per day from the Cure Wounds, Guiding Bolt, and Sanctuary list, and she gets 1 spell slot per day at second level for lesser restoration. That is her Beast Mask abilities. There we go. So I'll just drop those in here real quick. Cure Wounds, Guiding Bolt. There we go. Boom. And you know what I'm going to do? Because Lucia has bonded with Azaka, I'm going to give you access to her character sheet.
I get your NPCs again?
Yeah. You don't have to control her in combat. I can still do that. But you already know the spoiler about her character sheet. So if you would like to control her in
There is
combat,
no
you're welcome to.
You can't keep letting Mia do this.
I mean, Mia's the one who fell in love with, got the love of an NPC first. You guys got to step up your game. Start befriending people.
Damn.
I'm just coming for all of Spencer's NPCs. In a loving relationship in one way or another.
Exactly.
Whatever that might
This
mean.
one is super maternal. The last one was super lesbian. I mean, what's the next one? What other kind of...
There was a lady that looked like she had baggage and was kind of hot.
Exactly.
And like she was batshit insane.
Yeah.
And every lesbian goes for that.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's like every NPC that I make. So...
No?
Anyway, also this is going to be using the mask's ability scores, so it'll just be a +1 on that guiding bolt to hit. I should add that real quick.
+1 to hit.
Yes, because the mask only has a 12 wisdom. It doesn't have a
Damn.
proficiency.
If she uses the guiding bolt, she
The
is like a
mask
very bad
has
time.
ability scores.
Oh no, it's Jim Carrey's The Mask.
I guess we can just use her ability score, so it'll be a +3. That works.
Okay.
And then the DC would be 13. No, 11.
Yep.
Not that it really matters.
She will likely use it for healing
There you
anyway.
go. Yeah. That works. That's more what it was for anyway.
I've never pressed the short rest button. I'm curious what it does.
Okay.
Oh,
Now
You
that
have
the prep
to
that I
set-
missed is out of the way. Hi. You guys are atop of Firefinger. You were considering
my.
what you wanted to do next last time. We're going to go to the map of Chult here. It'll take a while to load in for you guys.
I just realized something. The way I usually write down my abilities, like I have key points, space, and then /SR for short rest, so that I just remember when it recharges. Apparently that is the way that you are supposed to do it now that they added the short rest button, which is very nice.
Oh.
Because then it actually fills up the slots again.
Well, there we go.
That is the one thing the short rest button does.
Now we know.
No? Convenient.
There you go. I forgot to put Azaka's character sheet in your journal. You should see it now, Mia.
I will check.
So hello,
That's the handout.
NPC allies in the player's journal.
Oh, there.
There you go.
Sarcastic finding. I like that the transformed art just doesn't make sense for her outfit.
Yep.
They just use the base token.
Yep.
Anyway, so we're shop resting?
Yeah, absolutely,
Question
you can. You were looking out at the surrounding area. I believe you have a map on you from somebody. Is that correct?
Yeah. We do have a
I
map.
believe you got
and
a
we
partial
get-
map from something with a D, the noble guy.
Yeah.
I always forget
No,
his
it was,
name. I don't know why.
No, we got the map from the lady we traded breastplates with.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. He promised a
the
full
assassin.
map, I believe.
Yeah, Dashland promised me a full map with more locations. Your current merchant prince patron, that's the wrong book, whose name I definitely remember, and definitely I'm not looking up right now. She gave you a rough outline map, which you could fill in as you went. Her name is not Jessamine, not Quavathe, not Jobel, not Wakanga. Xanti.
Dante.
That's her name.
Yeah.
Xanti. So, with the map from Xanti, you know a little bit about the surrounding areas, so you can sort of peer out with your high vantage atop of Firefinger. Before he headed out, Nephir pointed out Kirsabal to you on the cliffs across the Laughing Gorge over this way. He didn't give you any further details from that, but you can see based on the map that there is a decent change in elevation there. There's a cliff face there. And the crossing marked on the map is Ataaz Muhaha. You don't have to take that one. You can try crossing the gap yourself, but that is the existing passage that is marked on the map. Beyond that, you know that the ship, airship that you saw coming in crashed somewhere over there. You know that Oralunga, over this way, has a seer who is aware of the hidden location of Omu, not Omu, Mesro, the spiritual Mesro that removed itself from the physical location of the city when Ubtao fled. And then, of course, you were initially headed over to Jahaka Bay to try to get some stolen shipments back. However, you know, with your change in abilities, you may not even want to finish that quest. All things are open to you. As you sit there at the top of the world. Yes.
Nephir, did they say that we would get to Kirsabal and then they would give us the gift of flight or something along those lines?
So Nephir told you before he headed out that his leader Ashara has the ability to grant a ritual that will give you all the ability to fly for a week, between 7 and 10 days. That would certainly speed up travel across the land, but of course you have to get to Kirsabal first.
Right, and then that would mean that our trajectory would be like, oh my god, what was that? My bad. Was that me with the purple? Does everyone see?
I don't see a purple. What happened?
Oh, right.
Oh,
okay.
I see a line.
Well,
who drew that?
Yeah, I needed. It's me. I don't know why, because my pen's supposed to be blue right now. I was trying to draw the trajectory from Kirsabal to Orlunga, because I believe we would take a direct path.
Yeah.
I got it.
Snap to center.
There we go. I've done it.
Yeah,
and
so
I think
you're
we have
looking
to...
at 260
so we have to go
miles.
Here.
And I believe I had you doing 30 miles a day, because otherwise this would take just way too long.
Yeah.
So
I think we have to go
probably get there in 4 days if you were flying.
Which would mean that we'd have to take breaks at every quarter of the trip.
But you wouldn't have the potential to run into trouble along the way, which is the main benefit of this. And you wouldn't be expending energy flying either. So you'd be less susceptible to weather conditions.
Question.
It's really hot around here. Yes.
Does Asaka know about if we can properly cross here, or if we should go to the bridge thing?
Yeah, she would tell you. The Laughing Gorge, I'm actually going to look this up real quick. I can't remember. I believe they're relatively level, the two sides of the gorge. However, I'm going to
they are, but there's like a very deep gorge, if I remember right.
Yes, it is a massive and far across gorge. I'm going to look up.
And I wonder if Asaka would know that. I think Asaka would know that because the thing is like a known place.
She should, yeah. This is also area that she's hunted in quite a bit, even if she avoided Firefinger in particular. Ataaz Muhaha. There we go.
I never went to that place, so I'm excited if we go there. I know it's a big bridge, and that's all I know.
Yeah. Okay, so she will tell you that the Laughing Gorge is about 100 feet deep, the bottom of which is a fairly shallow river. The gorge itself is... between 150 and 200 feet across, depending on where the crossing is. The bridge, Ataaz Muhaha, is about 100 feet across. It's one of the narrower spots. It's an ancient bridge that was built by the people that preceded her people. So this was built during the height of the Tabaxi Empire. This is what she would tell you.
So a normal gorge sounds like a bad idea, unless people are keen on climbing again. But the bridge is like what, day detour.
Yeah, she sets her jaw and she says, unless any of you have a way to cross the 100-foot horizontal gap.
Hardy wants to joke about an airship, but that's not in character. An airship would be great.
I would prefer the bridge, as opposed to climbing again.
It seems the safest route.
I certainly would like to be back on the ground, she says, holding close to her emotional support Drow.
Are we in agreement then? We take the bridge?
I have no argument against it.
Also, is anyone still a bit low on HP because Asaka has 1 Cure Wounds left? And if no one else needs it, I think Hope needs it.
Oh yeah, I'm like 26 out of 35 right now, so I'll be fine.
Yeah, that seems fine. I'm gonna give the last one to Hope as well. So another 5 for Hope. I think Hope is like, 18 or something?
Thank you!
Yeah, so with behind that sort of Majora's Mask tiger face, Azaka comes up to you and lays a hand on your forehead. And she says some words in a language you don't quite understand. It's like common, but the vowels and syllables are slightly off. So it's like listening to somebody speaking Esperanto, where it's like it's close enough that it sounds like common, but it's not. And with that, she rubs her thumb across your forehead, and there's a slight green glow in your eyes as your wounds are restored.
Thanks, appreciate it.
She nods curtly, and then looks off to the horizon, and she says, before we continue, do we want to do any scouting?
Probably a good idea.
We do have a good vantage up here. Does anybody have a spyglass?
No, because there's 1,000 gold.
No. If it's outside our price range, unfortunately, it's fine.
She nods and she says, well, I'm not getting paid for this trip, so it's outside of my price range as well. With that, anybody that would like to take a scan of the horizon, just to look ahead of you, you can make a wisdom perception check based on eyesight with advantage, as Azaka will be helping you.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Is it daylight out at the moment or not?
It is. It's around 5 p.m. at this point.
Well, I will do
the
it
sun
now then.
Rises in the east, sets in the west, so the sun would be at your backs. So this is actually a perfect time to be looking off to the east.
Not for me, because it's still sunlight.
15.
True. Okay, 15 isn't bad. 15 isn't bad. So what you can see up here, it's hard to make out details, but what you can see is the jungle gets really, really dense again. You can see there's quite a bit of a drop-off in the distance towards where you see the gorge on the map. You can't actually see the gorge from where you are, but you can see that there's a big gap of shadow between two sections of very dense jungle. What you do notice with the 15, you got the highest, so what you do notice with the 15, you can see the occasional roving bands of movement on the floor below. And if you watch very, very carefully, you can see just these crowds of figures at, several miles away. It's hard to make out exact numbers, but you can tell that there are crowds of things moving through the jungle. Some of them are very large creatures, but a lot of them you can see they're small groups of people that are
scrambling in sort of in a group then.
It's
so
impossible to take a character off of them at this distance, but you can see that the jungle below is quite populated in this area.
Yeah, that's not normal, at least from my understanding of things, so they're probably undead.
Yeah.
If that's a logical leap I can make.
You would note that on the map, this area is noted as being particularly fraught with undead.
Could you ping that?
If you look on the map, the area that's highlighted in yellow.
Oh, right, so the direct east of us, right, next to...
Those are areas that are patrolled by undead, which now...
Next to Mesra Old.
Yeah.
Right.
As Azako would say, the fallen paladin Raznissi's uncontained hordes wander these lands, performing old tasks that they no longer are commanded to. They no longer have a commander to pull them off of. So they wander across ancient routes everyone has forgotten, seeking to finish tasks that they have long lost.
Right. So we'll have to keep mindful if we're traveling through this region for hordes of undead.
She nods. But you can absolutely take note of where you thought those were, and it may come into play later as you're walking through the jungle.
Right. Could you perhaps mark with red on the hexes where I think I saw them?
It's not.
If
quite
it's
that
arbitrary,
clear.
then that's
you.
fine.
It's more
Right.
you have a rough idea. So when you're making checks later, this can help you.
Okay. So more of a checking of a box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Less than marking on the physical map. This is just you have a rough idea of where things are moving down there. So it can help you later. So this is all going on during the short rest.
Copy the region and put it on his map so that he has some kind of physical thingy. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I had just trying to think of what else you could see with the 15.
Can I get another glance at that airship?
Oh no, it's far
Is
too
it
far
too
away.
far?
Too far away.
Damn.
Yeah, I think at this point you may also see there's a clearing this way. There's a decent sized clearing over this way.
Right. So, no trees or just?
Yeah. There's an opening. I'll just put a little star there, maybe. A little circle. Yeah, I'll do a little green circle for you. There's a suspiciously large opening over here in the jungle canopy.
Okay. Slightly south of the gorge.
Yeah. I think that's everything you can notice from your current vantage point.
Mm.
So south of the river Tyriki, there is some sort of opening in the jungle canopy. And then, of course, there's the gorge off to the east. And that's what we get.
And above is it a river or it's a river?
You guys are currently alongside a river, which is the river Tyriki.
So the south of the river Tyriki, there's some kind of clearing. We can investigate that on our way, because that's about a little over a quarter of the way towards Orlunga after we get to Kirsipal.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a very... I will make everyone aware of that. Just Olaf will turn, after looking on the horizon, eyes squinted a bit, and he'll just say, seems to have a bit of what I can only assume to be hordes of the undead near Mesdro, or Old Mesdro, I guess. And south of River Tyriki, there's a suspicious clearing. We might be able to take a stop after we get to Kirsipal and gain that boon Nefir was talking about. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So with that, Azaka tightens her belt and steels her nerves, and you can begin the climb back down Firefinger. So on this climb back down, are you going for safety?
We're not gonna just do a feather fall.
Yes, we want to skydive.
You want to skydive? All right.
Yeah. Free bird.
Is it 6 people with featherfall?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe.
And how long does featherfall last?
Lucia and Asaka do that as well. Because I'm pretty sure that both of them are very against doing that if they don't have to.
You can just walk down the barway if you like.
If you like, you can go down with each of you can go down with one of us, and we can sort of guide you down, cover your eyes or something if that makes you comfortable.
I don't think I'd like to jump down the tower that I almost fell down and died.
You won't. We'll be with you.
Yeah, Azaka shakes her head as well. She says, "That is not something I am interested in reliving."
How can I... Okay, so in my head, the way to convince them would be... Because if we wait for them, that's going to be just dead time, and we might as well just go down with them. But if you want to save as much time as possible... In my head, the idea would be...
It's not that big a deal. It's like a few minutes for them to climb down.
Is it a few minutes? I thought it would take much
It's
longer
300
than
feet
that.
straight up.
I mean, climbing
It'll be
down is
like-
a lot more difficult.
What, 30 minutes?
Realistically, I mean, it's easier going down. I was going to ask you about your pace. If you wanted to take it super slow and careful, I was going to lower the DC for the climbing, but it'll take about an hour. If you want to go quick, I'll let it be like less than a half hour, but the DC will be higher, so you're more likely to fall.
I'll just say, Lucia, you trust me to catch you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a yeah? Was that a yes?
I don't know. I really don't want to jump off the top.
Okay. You can climb down then. It's your choice. We'll meet you at the bottom.
Okay. So you walk up to the edge, I presume. Who
Yeah.
is going to skydive with Elspeth and Hope?
I feel like Azaka and Lucia are good by themselves because they seem pretty capable. It's only the heights that are really affecting them, but if they're taking their time, you might as well just everyone else go on the skydiving route and just make sure it's safe down there.
Okay. So Elspeth, tell me how you do this skydiving ritual. What does it look like when you bring everybody to the ledge?
I'm just going to say, okay, on three. 3, 2, 1, and I'm just going to jump off, do a backflip.
All right.
Um,
Laughing maniacally.
and as we're about 100 feet away from the ground, cast Featherfall at that point.
All right.
So we get a good 100,
Yeah.
200 feet of free fall.
All right. I would like Hope and Guy, or Hope and Olaf. I would like to get a wisdom saving throw from both of you to see if you freak out. Because Elspeth is waiting till the last third to cast the spell. The two of you have the potential to freak out here. Okay. Hope is
Could
fine.
we
Hope
communicate?
is like, woo!
Could we communicate with Elspeth just to get a bit of a
Didn't sound like she did.
heads up?
It sounded like she just grabbed your hand and jumped.
Okay, we jump now.
I feel like at this point, like, this is a thing that the two of them have done at least once before.
Yeah. Base jumping with a storm cleric.
I have a
is
minus
fun.
1 wisdom, which is not going to be great for me.
All right, let's
but,
see.
I
Let's see
have
how
plus
this.
0 and I still got a
I
19.
will say that
see if Olaf
Olaf
freaks
steps. Olaf steps off the edge like Kratos when he goes into the fucking
Yep.
in God of War.
And Fenrir is holding onto your back as tight as he can. Okay. I'm going to say that's low enough. You are facing certain death at this fall. And
Elspeth, you fuck!
yeah, give me a D100.
Oh.
A7.
87. All right. Where is my...
Is that the stupid fallen conscious again? I think it is.
If it is, that's
No,
gonna be funny.
no.
That would be really
this
funny.
this
He's
is,
falling and he just passes out while he's still in the air.
This is stunned. So you're screaming, and then you just suddenly fall dead silent. As the feather fall hits you, and you just sort of land and just sort of slump over on the ground for a minute until you're able
I
to...
love the idea that he's screaming, and
Yeah,
then suddenly
yeah.
the featherfall kicks in, and he's just sort of slowly
Yeah,
descending while still facing the
Yeah,
ground.
you go super rigid. You land and you take a minute to get your senses about you again, discombobulated, and you just at the bottom.
Well, I
Are you
feel
okay?
stupid.
Lands, suddenly screams a minute later.
Yep.
I feel stupid.
Why?
I don't know. Didn't really expect what to happen, but when I fell the first 100 feet, I kind of freaked out.
It's a bit, I mean, I guess it's a bit intense. We've done it before, so...
You get used to it.
She says as she casually flicks her white hair over her shoulder. Were you aiming for anything in particular, Abby?
For any spot? I guess around where the guy fell.
For sure. Give me a
What about our Hokra friend?
his wings healed up enough on his short rest that he was able to just fly straight home.
Okay.
Because I don't want to deal with another
Yeah, I
NPC
think
with
you
this.
asked.
But yeah, he flew already. He went off on his way. Give me a sleight of hand check for Elspeth, please. To see how she did aiming this jump.
Oof.
So you're a ways off, but thankfully you have a while to wait anyway. So if any of you guys would like to make a survival check to try to find this body, this may take up the rest of your time as the others climb down.
We got some time to kill.
Locked down.
10. Yeah, I'll give you one more. One more person can give a shot at survival check. Otherwise, the vicious trident's going to be lost.
Woo.
17 is not too bad. So you do manage to find the trident and pull it out. I'm going to say that the trident ability as written, or the vicious weapon ability as written, is really dumb.
Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah. I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you think the vicious weapon should crits on the vicious weapon always do max damage? Or do we want to increase the crit threshold of the spear by 1?
I would say crit threshold 19.
Crit threshold? That makes sense.
And more exciting.
Yeah. So
I don't know if any one of us can use it properly. Maybe
it is a
Levi.
martial weapon.
I am proficient in martial weapons.
Okay, so if you want to take the vicious trident, I believe I shared it with you guys.
Yeah, I think it's
sure. I can just add it to my
magical,
sheet.
right?
Vicious. I
So
don't
magical
see it,
and
actually.
crits on a 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay,
That is
I'm
actually
gonna
pretty
have
good
to vicious.
It's like vicious weapon.
Right.
Are so stupid.
It's also
A
like
rare
rare,
weapon.
which is just it's so weak for a rare weapon.
Yeah, and then you have something else that's a
Yeah.
flame tongue that just
Yeah.
always does 2d6 bonus damage, which
It's
is
just
better.
Instead of
On every hit,
2
instead of
damage
crit.
die when you do a crit, you deal an extra damage die during a crit, which is like an average of an extra 3 damage. It's like nothing.
So is it doing both, where the crit threshold is bigger and the extra damage dice, or just a crit threshold increase?
There's the question.
Honestly, for a rare weapon, I feel like both.
Yeah, it should be both.
Although the increased crit range is very strong, but it's basically
It is,
just a
yeah.
third level class feature of
Yeah, but you would only
I'm
have
gonna
like
add
a
a-
+3 on that crit damage, so or with the
If it's
extra
a
damage die.
if it's a dexterity weapon, I have a +0. So
it's not. It's
No,
strength.
is it a
It's
strength?
strength, yeah.
Oh right. Vicious
I'm
antimatter rifle.
adding it right now. No, I'm adding it right now. I will add this.
Oh, I'm just
to-
adding it on my D&D Beyond sheet.
Oh, that
just
works
so
too.
that
Yep.
I can edit the actual features to give it a bigger crit threshold.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it on the roll to debate thing as well.
Trident add equipment. Okay, now you have to answer me this. Am I able to reverse engineer this?
That's a great question. It's basically the same thing as the raw vicious trident. It's just in addition to the 2d6, your crit threshold increases by 1.
It's a rare magic weapon. So if you can do a rare
Can you
magic weapon,
change a crit threshold on D&D Beyond? I don't think you can. I will just keep note that if I roll a 19, it is a crit.
Yeah. So for you, it's 19 or 20. This would be really good if any of you were a fighter.
Not gonna lie, Chief, I was considering multi-classing into fighter, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So this would be excellent in your hands or in Levi's hands. But for
I think
now,
Levi likes it.
you can handle it. I feel like Levi is going to be more of the flail route. They seem
They
like
seem really excited for it. There.
yeah. I'm going to have to come up with a flail weapon for Levi.
Ooh.
So while you guys are having this search, Hope leads you off in the wrong direction at first. He is convinced he knows where the body landed, and Elspeth is like, "I'm pretty sure it's not over there," but I mean, you led everybody to the wrong place when you were falling, so you don't know. Eventually, Olaf leads you to the right spot, and as a result,
Oh no, I didn't roll that. It was Elspeth.
oh, I'm sorry, Elspeth, you lead us to the trident, and yeah, tell me, how does Olaf get the trident once you've retrieved it?
I'm just gonna pull it out of the body. I think you said it was lodged in last session.
Yep.
Just twirl it around a bit, drop it, and embarrassedly hand it over to Olaf. I think you look a bit stronger. You might be able to make better use of this than me.
Sure, I can give it a try. Might be able to figure out how this thing was made, make some more. This thing is like a black, craggly trident, right?
Yeah, so it's black and vaguely crustacean-like. It looks like it's a black metal, and there's bits of almost scale over it. It looks like there's carapace stuck to the outside of this thing.
Is that additional to the manufacture of this thing? So, as if it's been
It's hard to
at the
tell.
bottom of the ocean.
It doesn't. It looks like it's all one piece. Like, they're not separate colors or anything. It's just an interesting texture of the metal. It doesn't seem like something that was forged so much as it was just born. If that makes sense.
Right. That's pretty interesting.
Like you've seen stuff like bismuth crystals and that sort of thing, where it just sort of grows that way. This seems more like that sort of a thing. But this is almost... it doesn't seem like crafted by hands or tools. This seems like it just sort of...
as if someone snapped it off like a coral reef.
Yeah.
That seems very interesting, considering the method in which Olaf does his craft. So he will take note of this and then just slide it into his duffel bag. It's now gone.
There you go. Into the bag of holding it goes. Would you make me a D100 check, please?
It'll be fun.
Oh, fuck. Why?
No reason.
Is he going to break my bag of holding?
Just because.
98.
Okay.
Yeah. Trident goes into the bag of holding, no problems whatsoever.
Okay, yeah. What's that? I checked to see if it would break the bag of holding.
I'm not going to answer your question, Guy.
Okay.
I will tell you.
To be fair,
Mia knows what I'm doing, and it was traumatizing for me last time it happened. But it's a pretty low threshold because you're not in the you're in a different world now, and it's a little harder for this to happen here.
You rolled the wrong kind of close to the edge.
Yeah. If that was inverted, it might have been. We'll see. Is the point.
It might not happen. We will see.
Oh, fuck, it's cursed. No!
No.
Let's just say there was a similar thing, and my character almost died because of it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, Riley might know. You know what, actually, I'll give this to Hope. This, being a story-type person, Hope might be familiar with this folktale. So why don't you give me a lore check? So we'll call this a history check with your charisma proficiency.
Right, history
Yeah.
check.
Are you proficient in history?
I am.
I'm proficient.
Fully
good.
proficient in history.
So you can add your proficiency and your charisma modifier to this check, because this is the type of story you absolutely would have been told by your uncles.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to roll with wisdom and charisma and proficiency, which is a +5. All right. I'm just gonna roll a d20 and add 5. Oh,
Nope.
and no.
No, unfortunately,
Don't know the
this
story.
particular tale slips your mind, and it doesn't occur to you to. You may not have even heard it, but it's definitely the sort of thing that adventurers would tell each other. So you may come across the legend eventually.
But she's not there.
Okay, so inside of the tower, I'm going to say that Levi is traveling with you guys, just in case things go horribly wrong. They are the kind of sturdy person you want climbing with you to catch you in case you fall.
Exactly. They already did it once.
Yeah. So we know that outside the tower they take a long time searching. Oh, by the way, you guys outside, did you want to check out the body of the corpse?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if there's anything of note on there.
You don't see anything from outside. He's got a loincloth with a little pouch on it. Give me an investigation check as you check out his body.
Should we all do that? Or
I'll let one person do it, because it's like one body. It's going to be hard to do with.
I have a +3 investigation. I don't know how much that compares to everyone else.
Investigation 2.
Might be the best
Elspeth?
considering.
I'm not. No, you go ahead.
Okay, is that normal or with advantage?
No, this is one person, so it's a pretty small person you're going to look over. So basically, just you.
8!
Not bad. I mean, you open up his pouch. You find a couple of copper rings worth maybe 15 gold each. So 2 15 gold copper rings. And then he's got a necklace on him that you would guess is worth about 20 gold.
To be fair, not too much to be missing on this guy.
We have nothing else to do for the hour, so we might as well keep looking on him if you want.
Yeah, so that's
Look at some more dead people.
for the party loot. 2 brass rings worth 15 gold apiece. And a brass necklace worth around 20 gold. It's got a little
That's
ruby
weird.
garnet or a red garnet in it.
Is there any kind of insight check I could... not really insight, but some sort of check I could make to why particularly brass of all metals? And
Yeah,
all
I mean,
jewelry brass?
if you want to give me a religion check, perhaps. See if
Sure.
you're trying to look for any significance you might be familiar with.
I
Apology.
have a +3, so I'll just do that. 6.
Not in particular.
No rolls.
You know that brass is relatively easy to work with. It's a relatively cheap metal. Yeah, I mean, very unskilled people will work with brass just because it's easy to make. I mean, it's just a little bit of copper and tin. Both of those can be found easily on the surface. It's easy to mine. It's easy to. It's got a pretty low melting point once you make an alloy out of them. And garnets, of course, are also fairly common. So these aren't particularly valuable pieces of jewelry.
Well, that's nice. I couldn't figure anything out from that.
Yeah, that's more from your crafting background. You can't think of any particular religious significance to any of this, or cultural significance.
It's weird that it's all brass. Would expect some variety, anything shiny, but particularly brass? That has to have some kind of significance, right? Or am I overthinking this, Hope? I'm assuming Hope is the more, religiously inclined.
I think Hope was only, half listening to you, so he, hears his name, turns around, is like, huh?
That works.
Fair. Should we see if there's anything else of note around here? While we wait for the others?
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll leave you guys to do your scavenging. Oh, sorry, Abby, did you have something?
No, I was going to say I don't think we have much time once we've worked for the body and found everything there.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, you guys can fill your time as the others climb down the tower. So, Mia, I'm going to need a roll from Azaka, and I'm going to need a roll from you, and I'm going to need a roll from Levi, which I will do.
So they 100% go down the safe and slow way.
Safe and slow route, which means we're going to lower the DC. So this is going to be... where's my DM screen?
Lucia will also look to Azaka and they're absolutely crazy, right? I'm not being the stupid one for not going down the fast way that doesn't make us slip, but...
She nods,
I'm not going to jump down there.
Levi would probably chime in at this point, and they would say, as skilled as Elspeth is, there's always a chance the spell wouldn't go off in time, and I'd rather not find that out on the way down.
Oh, wait, are they okay? I mean, can you check
We'll
Levi?
find out when we're down there. Levi seems like the fatalist type. They seem pretty sassy and sarcastic. Sorry, Hannah, if you're listening to this later, if I'm role-playing Levi wrong. They seem really snarky.
For climbing down, is it still athletics?
Yes, I'm going to set this between easy and moderate. So we'll set it at 12. Okay. So this will be a 12 athletics check. We're going to make 3 to represent the different 100-foot sections of the climb. So
I'm going to do the first one for
DC 12.
Which is not advantage, so she has a solid 6 to start off.
Oh, that's not a good start.
And I'm going to do mine and have a solid 15.
Yeah, Levi also got a 15. I can open up Levi's character sheet if needed, but
I think they would
crazy bonuses. Azaka is a little shaken by everything that's happened and being so up high. And now that the adrenaline sort of faded from the fighting, she's having a rough go. So you guys take a little longer than expected going down this section of
it's okay.
Of the climb. So let's get to the next section, shall we? So that'll be another 2 athletics checks from you, Mia.
11 from Lucia and a 10 from Azaka.
Well, that was a 16 on the dice for Levi, so Levi absolutely made it. Yeah, no, you guys are taking a lot longer than expected. Yeah, now that the adrenaline's calmed down, you're also sore from all the climbing and fighting earlier, so Levi's actually probably getting a little impatient and is spurring you onward. Those of you guys outside, it's already been an hour. You have no idea what the fuck's taking them so long.
Can we see them climbing on the outside?
Yeah, give me a perception check. It's not going to be very hard. But I mean, if you guys...
Crit. Yeah.
Easily, yeah. No, you spot them. They're at this point, they're about 100 feet up. They got the last section down the chimney through the spider cave to get back out.
Okay, so it's basically home run stretch. They don't need any help.
Home run stretch, yeah. I mean, you could yell at them to jump if you really wanted to.
No, that's cruel. Olaf will just say, there they are. They're coming down. It's usually taking a bit longer than expected.
So I'm not going to look at the chat. I'm going to roll these. Oh, 15 and 18.
Levi got another 15. So this part, yeah, you guys easily get down to the bottom. Maybe you spotted Olaf down below waving at you and gives you a little boost of confidence.
We were just so close that we were like, okay, if we do this fast and good, then we have to go around.
You guys get safely to the bottom. However, because that was a lot of fails early on, it does take you guys about an hour and a half or so to get all the way down to the bottom. So I'm going to say at this point, it's probably around 6:30. So you've got like 3.5 hours before sunset.
Okay. Sunset is better for me anyway.
Yeah. You are on the forest floor. So, which token would you guys like to go to? Do you want to go immediately east, or do you want to go south a bit? Do you want to try to bridge the gap or go over the bridge?
I think the bridge.
I want to go for the bridge.
Bridge route?
Bridge
Alright.
seems safer.
Yeah,
Like straight for the bridge.
Yeah. As you move...
Another thing is that, like, the quicker we get out of undead territory, the better. And if we go directly, as directly as we can, we'll be out of there in 3 hexes.
True. I'm going to roll some random encounters to see if you run into anything on the way. And because, Olaf, you were keeping track of things, if it comes into play, I will give you a bit of a check to see if you can tell these things are coming, because you took time to spy. All right, so you're definitely going to get some encounters.
Good for the people that are not level up yet.
Yeah. Give me a second here. I need to... This is the problem with using random encounter tables, is you got to take the time to actually roll the shit.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, it works if you pre-roll, but not if you have, like, events that might change what happens for the player.
I was planning on pre-rolling everything, but then it got away from me. And also, like, this is fun. This is the random element of the dice. And we remember today was average temperature with slight winds. So you guys are... It's good weather to be walking and traveling around. Say... And... Okay, interesting. Olaf, would you please give me a wisdom perception check? I'm only allowing you to make this check because you took the time to look ahead beforehand.
Yeah, that makes sense. I believe I have a +1, so 10. Not great.
No, not great. You saw there was some movement around this area. However, you misjudge where exactly they were, so you actually are going to run into these people. However, yeah, with a 10, you're definitely going to get within encounter range of them before, they're going to see you at the same time.
I love the idea that Olaf doesn't quite see him, so he just keeps getting progressively closer. It's like, oh fuck, we're too close.
Yeah. No, maybe they changed directions since you were watching them from above, but you do run into a number of figures. Do we have a marching order, by the way? Who is up front?
I believe Olaf would be at the front if he's trying to...
That makes sense.
Keep up for things.
Yeah. Who would be next after Olaf?
Normally, Lucia was in the front, and Asaka was scouting ahead, so I don't know if they would be in the front or in the back. One of the two, I think.
It makes sense that Azaka would be up there as well, since she is technically your guide. So Hope and Elspeth are making up the rear then.
Yeah.
Okay. So Hope and Elspeth, you guys have a chance to hide if you choose to, because you are spread out a bit as you're traveling. You're marching through the jungle. The sun is beginning to set, and you hear a number of voices up ahead. And there's this rhythmic chopping sound. And you run into a group of people. Initially, you're frightened, but they look at you with shocked faces. You see there are 6 tall individuals dressed in tribal furs, carrying machetes. The chopping was them cutting their way through the leaves here. As well as a gentleman dressed in mage robes, who looks relatively familiar to you, a cleric-looking fellow, and a ranger-looking fellow. And this mage-looking fellow looks at the lot of you, and he says, Do I know you, perchance?
I don't know.
Is this the fucking dickhead of the Yellow Banner?
Yeah, you
people?
guys would recognize these folks as the company of the Yellow Banner.
Hmm.
So, Elspeth, would you speak up still?
I think Olaf would try to stop Elspeth sort of initiating. That's what this guy wants, isn't it? He wants to get some kind of like interaction. He wants to feel big.
The Yellow Banners who Devlin is with, right?
Yes. It's hard to see in the lower light here. They are carrying torches. It looks like they have a company of 6 scouts with them. And then, of course, there's the ranger. Sigrund, I think his name was? No, that's a Valkyrie. Overhead, NPCs, company Yellow Banner. Devlin, Berthold, and Seward. That's the other one. Yeah.
Berthold. Oh, Attack on Titan.
Yeah. So the 3 of them, you can see they're a little worse for wear. They've got some mud splashed on their vestments and armor and whatnot, but they're doing pretty well. You see Seward, of course, has his lantern hooked onto his belt. But Devlin is squinting at you. Devlin and Berthold are human, so they don't have dark vision. Seward, however, has immediately spied the 2 people he knows in the back.
I don't think we have met.
Devlin will say, "Are you sure? You seem awfully familiar." He scratches his head.
I mean, I don't know you. I don't remember talking to you before.
Seward will speak in a gravelly voice. They're the ones that were traveling with the Amiras kids. And he gives you a knowing look, Elspeth. And he nods his head if you want to go. He's going to give you a chance to.
Just on curious, so, how have your travels been, Devlin?
He starts and he says, "Ah, Elspeth! I didn't see you back there. You were so eclipsed by all of your peers."
Fuck, I hate.
Quick question: do deviled eggs exist in this universe?
Probably.
Don't. It's too low.
Yeah.
He's heard it 1,000 times before.
Bertolt would put a hand on his shoulder and he says, Now, Devlin, that's no way to treat fellow adventurers. Here we are, the several of us traveling through these jungles alone. It's dark. It's going to get cold soon. There are many creatures in the jungle. Certainly we can sit together and have a nice warm meal around a fire, share some camaraderie in these fine times. I'm channeling Ariadne here.
I'll just like sort of ignore that for a moment. Just say, it really is it really must be hard for you not to be able to see in the dark. No, and I don't know what I'm saying, guys. Help me. I need
okay,
the
do you
IRL,
want some sassy bitch energy?
Charisma. I need the IRL 17 charisma, guys.
Okay, wait. So you don't let this guy. The other guys say you're eclipsed by your friends. And
Devlin is a dick. Seward is a really sweet but gruff Aragorn type, and Bertolt Brecht is just a beautiful man.
Oh wait,
Bertolt has no mud on him whatsoever. He's been prestidigitating himself to be as presentable as possible.
Hear me out. Elspeth said being eclipsed by your friends could also mean that you're bright as the sun. Fuck it, go for that.
Yeah, it would have been good.
Golden. You're the sun.
No, I missed the opportunity. Anyway, I'll just say
no. She stutters her way through it.
No. Someone else take over.
Yeah, no. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Lord Bertolt. You're right. We shouldn't be so cruel to such young, aspiring adventurers, so new on their journey into here."
I hate guys.
Are you talking down on us?
A little bit. I mean, what are you? Some gruff little scamperer.
How tall is Devlin?
Urchin. He's a solid, 5'9", but he wears some pretty decent heels, so he looks like he's 6 feet tall.
Okay, I love the 2 6-foot-plus people in the party at least, and the 8-foot-tall Azaka.
He has impeccable posture, but you can see very clearly he's got 3-inch heels under his shoes.
Okay, I don't want to be homophobic. I actually really respect the heels. Heels are awesome.
Yeah.
But also, they're bad for your feet, so it's a bit of a fine line.
Yeah. But he says, no, for real. You have my condolences, Elspeth, for my attitude towards you. We would certainly welcome some company here tonight, and we have ample protection. He nods to the warriors, all of whom just roll their eyes at you. They very clearly are a little sick of traveling with these posh assholes.
Oh, I thought adventurer didn't really need protection, considering they are supposed to provide that themselves. Also, were you already gonna take a rest? Because we are still gonna continue onwards for a couple of hours.
Seward will snicker at that, and Devlin says, when you've reached a certain level, you don't need to worry yourself with the details. And we're in no hurry. It's not like this death curse problem is going to solve itself.
I mean, a lot of people are dying.
That seems rather counterintuitive.
It's better to arrive fresh than exhausted.
I mean, we're not going to be exhausted. We're making the most of our time.
Berthold will nod and say, you are welcome to stay with us or not. Despite the callous greeting of or invitation of our dear friend Devlin, you are welcome around our camp. I certainly would like to hear some of the famous Amirasen songs. However, I mean, if you wish to continue on your way, certainly I wish you well in your journeys, and I hope you will wish us well in ours. We're headed off to Camp Righteous ourselves.
Oh, good to know.
Hasn't that been abandoned?
It has. Actually, I'm going to double check something real quick.
I'm making express purpose.
Camp Vengeance is the one that is being stationed.
I think Camp Righteous is the one that's empty.
Yeah, it is empty.
Thank you. Just going to double check here real quick.
And it has been built around an old temple, so maybe they want to go there.
Yeah, that does make sense. Just going to double check with what it is.
Also,
I mean, I know, but I'm not going to say it right here.
Olaf is making express purpose of not telling them where we're going or what we're doing.
This is a random encounter, so I'm figuring this out on the spot. My apologies. Yes, Amia is absolutely correct. This was abandoned. Yes, so Bertolt will tell you, the Order of the Gauntlet actually landed at, founded Camp Righteous several years ago when they came here to try to wipe out the undead that Rosnisi left behind. We are not interested in picking up their quest quite right, but we are hoping we can find some useful supplies there. We heard of a particular cleric of Lathander that passed through. He passed away there. In addition, it would definitely be good to learn a little more of their scouting, as we are searching for hidden and lost items in the jungles here. Perhaps Camp Righteous would have hints along our way.
Good to know.
Where are you actually coming from? Like, as far as we know, there's only the ruins of Mesro in this direction?
Yes, we visited Mesro first. That was our first place. We wanted to see if there are any hints. And Devlin will interject, and he says, As has been told to us, Mesro is entirely abandoned. It is an utter ruin. Yes, we found some hints of where it could have gone, but if you want such hints for yourself, you're going to have to pay for it.
So this is on Spencer's end.
Oh, hello. I'm here.
Welcome back.
Hello. Devlin says, interjects and says, we found some answers as to the location of Mesro after its retreat. However, as we are direct competitors in this, we're not willing to share without some price changing hands.
Are we competitors I mean, I'm just to try and stop the death curse so that people that are important to me don't die. I was just asking because we are in undead territory right now, so you might have encountered some before, but basically all the way to the river is undead territory, so be careful of that. And after there's even more.
Yeah. Bertolt nods and says, you are a right and kind young woman. He nods your way. He says, we are well aware of these dangers. Our noble scouts have informed us as such. However, my companions and I, we are quite capable ourselves, and we have a few surprises up our sleeves.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that you know it can be quite dangerous, and I don't want you to just stumble into something by accident. But if you know, then it should be alright. I mean, you're more than capable enough.
I appreciate that. And your name is?
Oh, my name is Lucia, Aurora.
He would approach you and hold out a gauntleted hand to take yours, if you would allow him.
I will.
Yes. He holds your hand up to his lips, and he gives you a gentle kiss. And he says, it is so rare to see an elf so young, and even more rare indeed to see a drow walking the path of goodness. I am quite happy
That's
to see
a
one of
kid,
your
man.
kind here. Oh, he's not being gross. He's being courteous.
Okay,
Yeah,
He kisses your hand gently, and he says, I'm quite proud to see one such as you up here fighting the good fight. And you watch the rest of you see as Seward just his eyes roll into the back of his head, and he puts his hand on the lantern and whispers quietly to the person inside.
Most people just judge by my ancestry, or by the fact that I'm still very young. So it's a pleasant surprise. Thank you.
Yeah, he's just radiating. His skin is like golden, and he's got this like big, thick, curly Jesus beard and like a big mane of curly, oily black hair. It is just like freshly argan oiled. And he just he probably smells like argan oil too. He's just got this like peak masculine like energy about him. In every way, this is a noble. And he just smiles at you and he says, I have met many a wonderful drow in my time. I have traveled with Dris Do'Urden for a time. Your ancestry has no more power over you than you allow it to. You can make your way in
He
this
is
world.
so slimy and slick. I would be absolutely disgusted, but Lucia is young, so she's very happy about it.
He's leaning down to talk to you. Actually, you'd probably be eye level, but he's like...
I mean, Lucia is only 4'9".
Oh, okay, so he's leaning down. Because he's like a solid 6'2". This is the pedigree of breeding.
Did you expect her to be 6 foot tall?
Yeah, I did. I thought she was 6 foot tall.
It would be scary, considering she weighs like 30 kilos or something.
Yeah.
85 pounds.
There you go. Anyway, he's smiling at you.
Okay.
And he says, well, if you ever need any help on the way, I would certainly welcome another squire or apprentice. We left our squire behind. I need to look up what his name is. I wasn't prepared for you guys to run into this crowd, but it came up on the
I really don't like these
table.
people. I really don't like these people. The ranger might be okay.
I think it's
He's a
Sephiroth.
smarmy mofo.
No, not Sephiroth. Biff. Yeah, he says, our current squire we had to leave behind in the city. He got in a bit of trouble. Nothing too dangerous. We just left him behind with our fellows to sober up a little.
I think I'm good for now, but thank you for the offer.
All right. He smiles over at you, Elspeth. He says, Biff told me he saw you at the dinner the other day, young Amirasdottir. It's very good to see you again.
Oh, what?
He inclines his head. Give me a history check to see if you remember who this person is.
Alright. History. 11.
11. You don't remember many details about him. You know that Laird Bertolt, one of Devlin's sort of crowd, was this very tall, shy human farm boy named Biff. You don't know him that well. Not with an 11. But you know he was squire to Lord Bertolt. as a way to lift his family out of poverty.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he just
You're
looks at
gonna
me and says, young Biff was quite excited to see you, but he got a little shy, and he fell deep into his cups. We had to leave him behind. But I'm sure he would be happy to see you. If you make your way back to the city, we'd love to speak with you.
Maybe when we're finished with what we're doing, we can meet up for a time.
He nods, and he says, well, in that case, I bid you good night, fellows, and good luck on the hunt.
You too. Stay safe. Bye.
Devlin makes a little fart sound as he passes you. And
Guys, I think we should keep moving. I think Devlin shat himself.
give me a persuasion check real quick.
From Olaf,
Olaf,
because he
yeah.
made the stupid joke.
Yeah. I want to see how the
Sure.
guards take it. Or how the scouts take it.
10. Can
You
go
get,
either
a
way.
couple of chuckles. But mostly they're just sort of tired of this journey and they continue hacking on into undead territory.
Olaf will expressly tell the scouts, good luck on your journey. I hope these fools aren't too much trouble for you.
Yeah, I think...
Just sort of a consolidation with them.
Yeah. The scouts nod your way, and I think Seward is going to hang back a little bit. He's going to look over all of you. Would all of you please give me a charisma check? Just to see what he sees as he's looking over you.
Small and frail and sick.
Okay.
And 7 with Elspeth. It's so fitting.
So he Hope catches his eye, and he's going to actually approach you, Hope. And he holds out his hand for a handshake.
I'll shake it.
Yeah, he leans in close and whispers in your ear.
Hello.
He says, it is good to see you again, Amira's son. I will warn you. We passed through troll territory up ahead. We managed to avoid it. You may want to go to high ground before your rest.
Thanks for warning.
He nods and he says, if you do...
Do I remember this guy?
You would know of him through school days. You wouldn't have known him personally.
Okay.
But you know him by reputation.
Yeah, because
Yeah, they all come from the same
didn't
region
spend much
of,
time in school.
Yeah, they all come from the same region of the north as you guys do. So
Right.
you would know him by reputation. And he would... the two of you are well known because your mother and uncles were pretty famous adventurers.
Yeah.
So he would look at you and he says, you look like you have the measure of the jungle about you. The ways of the wild.
Hope just kind of shrugs and nods.
Guide them well.
In that confident way that people who have confidence do.
Yeah. He's a pretty insightful person. He'll point a finger at you, just gently, and say, guide them well. Remember,
He nods again.
the way of nature is one of balance. These lands are filled with mazes. You must follow nature's path. You can't force your own. And with that, he moves off along with the rest of them, leaving you guys for your way.
Elspeth is noticeably grumpy for the rest of the night.
Yeah. All right. So, you continue on your way. Elspeth is noticeably grumpy.
Just a quick check before I continue with a bit of RP. Were they talking down to Lucia? Or more...
No, the guy was just...
Devlin was. Give me an insight check.
The smarmy guy.
Yeah,
The smarmy guy.
Give me an insight check, and I'll tell you what you can pick up.
8, so nothing.
Not much. You can
Wait,
tell
was
that
Devlin
Elspeth
talking
does
to
not
us?
like Devlin, and Devlin does not like Elspeth. You could tell Brandtrokk.
Who was the guy? What was the name of the guy who warned me about the trolls?
That was Seward. Seward
Okay.
is an older ranger. He's got a bit of a scar, looks like an acid scar across one side of his face, and he has a magical lantern at his hip.
That he was talking to.
Yes. Yes.
Only
whispering.
the noble talk to Lucia, right?
Yes. Bertolt came and talked to Lucia, encouraging her in her quest and saying how proud he is to see a drow defying expectations of society and making her own way.
I take it without any any negative connotation.
Yeah,
it's just
with a 12, you can tell it's very practiced. He's definitely like a statesperson. This is a person who's learned to talk his entire life. Relatively high charisma type of person. So it's hard to read sincerity necessarily, but you don't read anything insincere in what he was saying. It's just, this is the kind of person who can have this conversation with anybody. You don't know how unique it was to you.
Yeah. So he meant it in a very political way.
In a general way. You don't know how specific it is, because, again,
I'm happy.
Hard to read true
Lucia's happy. She feels good about himself.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't take that away from Lucia.
Yeah.
The moment, like, all the guys' backs are turned and they can't see us anymore, Hope pulls out, like, a little rag from one of his pouches and, like, wipes his hand down.
That works. Yeah. So,
he was very hesitant on taking that handshake.
Why don't the two of you also give me an insight check, just to see? Elspeth, I'll give you disadvantage because you're so flustered by Devlin.
Yeah.
Insight, that's a 16.
Yeah, as expected, Elspeth, you're a little too flustered.
I like that Elspeth completely tanked every roll in this, which makes sense thematically.
Yeah.
I know, I've rolled 2 nat 1s this session.
Yep. Hope, as you watch them go, you notice that Seward kind of hangs back. And in particular, he keeps an eye on one scout in particular, who, now that you're watching them, that scout doesn't seem to fit in with the other scouts. Like, you've seen the way Chultans move through the jungle here. There's a confidence and a familiarity with the jungle.
Yeah.
The scout he's trailing seems very unsure and inexperienced. And that strikes you as a little odd. However, they're very quickly out of sight, and you can't really pick up anything more than that.
Interesting. Seward warned me about some trolls. We should probably get to high ground before we head down for the night.
Azaka nods, and she says, trolls generally live in swamps, and they hunt down near the ground. I'm loath to climb into a tree, but if we can find some way to get up high, it would be better for us. Trolls are damn difficult to fight, and I don't like using fire this late at night. You don't know what will attract. She'll give you a piercing look behind her mask, Elspeth, and say, that spindly brat in the red robes. You have a history, don't you?
You do.
Has he always been like that?
Basically.
Pretty much. He's annoyed that that I know magic without having to try, and also that I won't sleep with him. Mainly the first thing there.
And how do you feel about that?
Okay.
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
I just... It's a bit of a dick, but I don't know.
I mean...
I don't want to sleep with him, if that's
no,
what you're
that's
asking.
not the part I was asking. I was saying...
Why do you keep bringing that up, though?
Because it's so obvious. Everyone can see it.
I mean more... You were born with your magic, yes?
I was.
You never had to try too hard. Is that worrying you?
Why would it?
I'm not sure. I'm asking.
I guess it would be nice to be able to do, like, something else, but I just have what I can do. I don't know if it's possible for me to learn anything else. I've never tried.
Well, I'm certainly not going to belie innate talent. She looks you over. She says, in our journeys together so far, you have struck me as a very capable and strong individual, whereas him, for all his learning, strikes me as a person that will crumble at the slightest bit of pressure. I think, regardless of how you may feel about yourself, I think you've learned a lot more than he did in your relative schooling.
Oh. Thank you.
She then nods. And she will begin leading the way. So are you guys going to try to rest now, or do you want to push into the night a bit more?
I guess get the high ground.
Yeah,
Then-
and we get
We need to get
to
to high
the high
ground.
ground.
Okay, so you're going to stay in this square of the jungle, and you're just going to try to find a troll-free place to rest.
Also, wouldn't we
Yeah.
be likely one lower? Because Firefang was like in the square, and then we'll
yes,
right to the-
you're right. Probably. This should be on the map layer. No, that's gem layer, wrong layer. Map layer.
I think the X is Firefinger, right?
Yeah, the X was
Yeah.
Firefinger. Yeah, so you guys would have moved 3 squares, so you're about there. Perfect. Yeah. So why don't we get some survival checks? Since you're going to be making this check as a group, somebody can make it with advantage. Or we can have 2 people roll, and we'll take the better of the 2 of them.
I don't think I have that high of a survival.
Good at survival.
I'm gonna roll.
I have a -1, so I'm not gonna do it.
Hopefully somebody does better than Lucia did.
I think I,
Six.
+1.
I think I had the best bonus as well,
Yeah.
without being trained.
Yeah.
So,
So-
we have 0 with advantage,
One
but
of the
I
other
think 2
three.
people are on
Give
fun.
me a shot.
I'll give it a go.
Hey.
17. So
The second
Lucia,
17 survival.
Lucia seemed to misunderstand the assignment, and she starts leading you guys into like underbrush. And Elspeth's like, no. We need to get high, because you're familiar, of course. Trolls like to live in deep, murky places. So with a 17, you probably find a decent section of large, flat stones that rise up pretty high, and it's fairly dry. So you find a nice little plateau in the jungle where you can see in all directions. And you know that there's nothing really murky for a troll to be hiding in. So Elspeth finds your campsite, and you guys can settle down for the night.
To be fair, Lucia is still missing a lot of blood, so maybe she just heard.
That's true.
Not we have to go high, but they go high, so we have to go low.
Okay, so you guys settle in for the night. How are you setting camp? Also, since it is the end of the night, we should probably mark off our resource uses for the day. It's 1 ration each, and you were traveling at a normal pace, so your rainwater collectors from the night before would have been fine. Would have carried you over.
So, from my understanding, we're sitting on large rocks, right? Large
Yeah.
flat rocks.
Yeah.
Well, setting up a tent would be a bit too conspicuous since we're basically in the open, being high up. So, would there be a way to set up like a tent with a bit of brush covering it, like bits of moss,
Okay.
branches?
So
of
you want to
long
try to make it
leaves?
look like the tent's just like another rock?
Basically, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
with moss on top and everything.
okay. I would allow this to be either a performance or a survival check, your choice. And you can either help somebody else with that role or have somebody help you with that role. Up to you.
It's probably going to be better if I get someone else to do this role, but I help them.
Okay.
Olaf will come up with the idea and have someone else help execute.
So, whomst amongst the party shall you turn to for aid in this?
So you said performance, which I think is pretty interesting, and I think I want to go that route. So Olaf is going to approach Hope after setting up like the tents initially and just say, "This seems a bit too much obvious. If anyone were to approach, maybe trolls or something. Would you be able to help me make it look like just another rock? Bit of grass, bit of moss. See what you can do?"
Hope?
That's directed at Hope. by the
Bradley,
way.
you might be muted.
Sorry.
Riley's. Oh no, yeah.
Riley's not dead.
What was I was slightly distracted thinking
Oh,
about
that's
feats.
okay. The party found Elspeth found a nice spot elevated on some flat stones. Olaf was setting up camp and noticed that the tents are pretty conspicuous, so he's come to you asking for your help in disguising them. So you can make
try.
a survival or a performance check with advantage to try to hide your tent.
I'll definitely get a 2 performance. Much better at it. It's an 18.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. So how do you disguise the tent up here atop the flat rock?
Probably like tree branches.
Okay. So you get Olaf to pull out one of his little hand axes, bring you down some branches, and you make up like a little teepee around the tent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that makes sense.
Yeah, you do a decent
Moss
job.
and all that good stuff.
With that, I think Azaka's going to go into the tent, and she's going to set up the ever-burning lantern. She's going to open up the bullseye part of it just enough so you guys can see enough inside the tent to get yourself situated. And let's get a watch order.
Coffee.
Same as usual.
Same as usual? I don't remember what the same as usual is.
Fenrir is always on watch.
Yeah.
And
Azaka with Olaf, Hope, and Elspeth, and then
Lucia,
Levi.
and then
Lucia for the last bit.
Okay. So for the first part, in that case, we're going to have Azaka and Olaf take this watch together with Fenrir, of course. So I'd like the two of you, Mia, if you wouldn't mind, give me a wisdom perception check. As you
I'm alright using
yourself.
Fenrir's as usual, right?
You can absolutely use Fenrir's because you're relying on his eyesight.
Yeah.
And
Perception. Just making sure. It is a 1d20 plus 4. 23.
23, yeah. It's not too long into your arrest, Olaf, that you hear a bit of rustling underneath you. Do you guys remember in Lord of the Rings when they're camping on that hill under Weathertop, and there's that sort of section of rock where there's that deep sort of cleft underneath the rock? Like a deep shadow?
Now, to be honest, Chief, it's been so long since I've watched Lord of the Rings. I only watch it with my dad.
Basically, the flat stones that you're sitting on sort of jut out a bit, and there's a decent amount of shadow underneath where you can't see. But you're sort of up on the tippy top here. If you think of like a triangle.
Right, so it's just a bit of an overhang where we can't see.
Yeah.
Right.
You hear a bit of rustling from down that way, like directly underneath you in the shadow. How do you react?
Can we do... Olaf is going to stay very still. He's going to hand signal to Azaka that he hears something, and he's just going to try and listen out a little bit further to see if he can hear anything more specific. If this is just a wild animal they don't have to be worried about, or...
give me another perception check based on sound. This is going to be yours. You can't use
I'm going to do mine, because I thought it'd be a bit too much for... thingy. So perception,
Fenrir
sound...
could, but you would have to speak with Fenrir.
18.
18, okay. You listen, and you don't hear anything for a long while. But then there's this snuffling sound. And then a deep, deep sniff. It's very distinct, cut through the silence. Just a... from directly below.
Right. And it sounds like a person sniffing.
Something with a big nose sniffing. You can't exactly place the animal, not with an 18. You're not really that familiar with nature. But something is sniffing around, trying to be very quiet.
He's going to pull out a piece of paper and write a short message to Azaka very slowly so as not to make any noise.
Yep.
Basically communicating something's trying to sniff us out. Stay quiet, it might move on. We're covered in brush, so it should obscure our scent.
She nods, and she shifts a bit to get her hand on her scimitar, and she waits. So, with all of this going on, you and Azaka are going to make stealth checks.
Okay.
So, Mia, if you wouldn't mind, giving me a stealth check for Azaka.
sure.
Oof, I got 12.
Okay,
I'm
and
the
an
one
18.
23.
23? Fuck.
23, yeah, not too bad, not too bad at all.
So that's an
with
average of 17.5.
Yeah, you guys settle in. This is more of a pass-fail sort of thing. And for the rest, the other three of you, 10 plus your stealth modifier, if you wouldn't mind. Because you're asleep, you're not going to be actively sneaking.
15 for Lucia.
15 for Lucia. Okay.
14.
Stealth is +4, so that'll be a 14.
Okay. Decent. With that perception check on their part, That's just enough fails. I rolled a 12 on the die plus 2 is a 14, which I believe catches more than half of you.
Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely.
Yeah. Exactly enough.
So you
Good
guys
for the people that need XP.
utterly still, not a sound. You swear you don't hear a thing. And the sniffing goes quiet for a minute. And then it starts up in earnest again, deeper, and you hear it growling back like, and something is coming. So you have a round to wake up your allies here.
Olaf is gonna slap everyone awake. Like,
Alright.
This is a rush moment.
Yep.
Not actually slap them, like, he's basically shaking them until they are awake.
Yep. So we're going to jump over the random battle map here.
I have a sneaky suspicion it's a troll.
I'm going to put Levi over here. Up at the top. I'm going to draw the rim of the thing real quick. Let's get the initiative tracker up. Feel free to roll your initiative here real quick as I draw.
We haven't had a long rest yet, have we?
No. You're in the midst of
Good
one.
for you. You don't want a long rest yet.
Crit fail.
You want this tasty XP. I don't remember. I think it was either only Lucia or Lucia and Elspeth that were above the 2700.
Something like that.
And there's the tent. You guys are jam-packed in there. Bodies on bodies. Yeah, and let's put this to back. There we go. You may be correct, as this horrid creature covered in black sludge begins hauling itself up the side. And after I roll its initiative, I'll give you a better descriptor of it. So neither of you get a surprise round, because you were well aware of its coming. You may move yourself to where you would like to be at the start of this encounter, because Olaf saw this in time to get you guys ready where you were.
So Olaf will have to be next to the tent. Oh, so we can move somewhere after getting out of the tent.
Yeah. Basically, you had 6 seconds as he climbed the edge of this embankment.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, everybody that was asleep has half movement, because you had to get up out of bed.
You see the... Yep, I can use Green Flame Blade on the trident.
Okay, beautiful. With that, Hope, you're up first. You hear the snuffling, and you peer out of the tent, and you see this massive, hulking, 8-foot-tall mass of limbs. It's hard to see, even with dark vision. It's just sort of obscured in black sludge. The most upsetting thing about this, beyond the bright red sort of protruding nose with just massive nostrils just huffing into the jungle air, there are protrusions that poke through the mud all over this thing's body that just sort of wriggle. It gives the sense that this thing is just covered in sort of maggots or worms or something. And it reeks.
I hate that.
It reeks. It smells like the worst kind of sewage. And it
I
just hits
hate
you all at
that, and
once.
Hope hates it even more.
But yes, he's just at the rim of the edge here.
Hope kind of scrambles backwards, kind of terrified, and just lets out something infernal. Nobody's quite sure what he just said, but he casts Dissonant Whispers.
Hey, let's see how wise this troll is. So this nasty creature... Oh, the other thing that's noticeable, the moonlight filters through the trees and reflects retroreflective out of this thing's eyes. So while even with dark vision, you just see this formless black mass with a pointy red nose, there are these two green flashy points of light in the darkness on its face. Its eyes reflecting the light back out at you.
It's oh, fuck no. No, thank you.
Well, that's a crit fail. So tell me what happens. What does it look like when he takes his 11 psychic damage?
Just like normally, I I think just because Hope is like in a panic, there's like a glow on his eyes, like this blue glow, and then he just kind of like shakes his hands at the thing, like in terror, and like if anyone's actually looking at him, which they're probably not, you kind of see like a comforting hand on his shoulder for a second, and then like a bolt of magical energy goes towards this thing and it starts bleeding from its eyes.
Yeah, you watch it. It recoils from that. And again, you can't make out much details because it's just so covered in nastiness. It sort of lurches over and just sort of pukes out just a pile of squirming things in result of this psychic energy. It is then going to use its reaction to move its full movement speed. Is that correct? To get away from you?
Yeah, it has to run away from me.
Yeah. How long does that last?
It's just the reaction.
Okay. Yeah, so it's 20 feet up, and then I believe its speed is 30. It is 30. So 20 feet back down to the bottom, and then 10 feet away.
Okay, I just bought us a little more time.
Yeah. Even as Hope says that, you can see that the squirming things that it threw up, centipedes, maggots, and earthworms, begin like digging themselves, trying to find soft spots in the stone to get away. They are also frightened of you. Azaka's turn is next.
They didn't die?
So Azaka would draw...
Like, you would shoot the guy?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Pew pew.
There you go.
16 and 12.
Yeah, so Azaka, she would probably need to get to the edge to get a clear shot, if you don't mind.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because otherwise she'd
How high is
have partial
the
cover.
By the way.
20 feet. But
That should be fine.
directly like straight down, so
Okay,
she might need to go a little
not
forward
bad.
to get it.
Afraid twice.
Yeah. No, she's fine for fear of heights.
Yeah.
The first one hits, so it takes 5 piercing damage as it slams into it. You hear this nasty, unnatural roaring of pain sound. It's wet. It sounds like what can I compare it to? Have you ever heard somebody yell underwater?
Mm-hmm.
When you were a kid in a pool? It's that weird sort of muffled sound that it hits your ears, but it feels more like pressure hitting your ears than it does actual sound when this thing makes
like
noise.
a reverberating scream.
Yeah. It makes this awful, horrid sound as the arrow hits it. And would Azaka move anymore?
I think she would go back next to Lucia.
That makes sense to me. Elspeth, you're up next. So you know that this creature ran back over the edge.
Alright, I don't have line of sight on it.
Not at the moment, no.
Alright.
I think Lucia would go before.
Oh yeah.
At least mine is. Are you forgetting me, or are you mixing up the tokens?
Oh, I fucked. I had Abby as the Drow again. I'm so sorry. Every time.
Look at me, I'm
no,
the Drow.
Lucia's up first. So finally, no disadvantage on these checks. You can see everything.
I'm gonna take a stance and prepare to attack someone if they get too close, and that's my turn.
All right. So you hold an action to attack somebody that gets in melee range. Now we go to Elspeth, and then the troll will be up next.
Specify an enemy that gets within attack range.
Yeah.
So
if someone that wants to do bad things against us.
Elspeth, you are from a culture that knows a lot about trolls. At the start of your turn, give me a history check just to see what drums up in your brain. Because this would be common knowledge for you. I won't give this to Hope earlier because Hope was reacting more than anything. 16, okay.
16?
Trolls tend to heal really fast, and they don't like fire.
Alright, I'm gonna ready my action for when that troll comes back over the ledge.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Chromatic Orb on it.
Okay, so you're preparing a chromatic orb to blast at it.
Yeah.
All right, keep in mind that spell slot for later, in case it doesn't go off. Troll's turn. All right. You hear a nasty squelching sound as that sniffing sort of picks back up again. That horrid huffing. And it just crests over the rim. And your reaction is going to be triggered, Elspeth.
All right.
as it pokes its face up over the edge.
10.
10. All right. Unfortunately, that does not hit the troll. So were you firing a fire orb at it?
I was going to be fine.
Yeah. It fires off, and it does connect with it. However, the muck and mud that's on this thing's back sort of puts it out right away. You don't manage to damage the troll itself with it. But now you can see where the sludge sort of burned away. There's this nasty, roiling skin underneath. It's like a dark, almost black-green fur, but every piece of hair that you can see is moving on its own. It almost looks like cilia on a cell, but just way larger. It is gross. And this thing, it quickly sort of puts muck back over the part that it hid. And with that, it is going to roar, and it is going to use the rest of its action to charge you guys, because it's not very smart, triggering the next reaction.
Mark. Nope.
Again, you got above its you do make contact with it, but again, the sludge on it just sort of, the rapier just skids off. It is charging at you. It had to use its action to do so. So it gets into this space with a lot of you, and it's just sort of spreading muck everywhere it goes, and you're just horrified by the stench of this thing. Olaf, you're up, and then we're back at the top with Hope.
Whoop. Olaf will make an attack with a vicious trident.
Okay.
It is flanked.
More piercing.
That's a crit.
It is flanked, so you want to roll... Oh, it's a crit anyway.
It's already a crit.
Yeah.
First attack with a special crit weapon.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you deal your extra die of damage on this.
I
so
am
you get to roll.
two-handing it, so it's 2d8 plus 3.
Yeah.
I should have specified before I made the attack.
No,
Sorry.
you do an extra die on your crit. So it's 3d8.
Oh no, I'm specifying that I was doing two-handed attack. I should have said before I rolled.
No,
So it
that's
is
okay.
3d8.
You don't have a shield equipped, so I would assume.
Oh,
that you're
it's
holding.
3d8.
Yeah, you get an additional die on your critical hits.
D8 from the crit, and then another bonus D8 because wishes.
Yeah, sorry, I was confused for some reason. I don't know why.
Also, if you don't have a shield, I'm just going to assume you're two-handing it, because it makes
11
sense.
damage. I forgot to specify green flame blade. That's fine.
That
I'll do
was
it for
a
my next
crit.
attack. That
Yeah,
was a very bad crit.
You did say
funnily
earlier you
enough-
wanted to. Do you want to retroactively do that?
Green
If that's
flame
okay.
this guy, stupidly enough.
Is it not?
No, before level 5, Green Flame Blade just makes some extra flame damage to an enemy that is next to him.
1 second.
Oh,
let
so
me
it would
see
be
this.
useful currently.
Yeah, like right now it would not do it.
I don't remember what Green Flame Blade does off the top
Green
of my
Flame Blade is way too complicated of spell.
head.
But if I remember it right, you
Right,
just
so it
damage
does
to-
damage, but then does fire damage to a different creature.
You basically do the attack
yeah.
against a guy and fire damage flings over
there
to someone
is
else.
just a
and then
normal
level
Flame
5
Blade, isn't there? As a cantrip? I think you can just light your sword on fire for an attack as a
No.
non-cantrip.
No, that's
Nah,
not.
that's-
You take
no,
This
no.
spell.
Anyway.
Okay, well that sucks. So it's irrelevant here.
Okay. Yeah, you stab into this thing. You deal a decent amount of damage. As the trident pierces through the mud and into the flesh, you can see that the hairs that sort of were wriggling on this thing's skin, they just sort of slough off. This thing doesn't have blood so much as it just has little tiny wriggling hairs. Some of them are worms, some of them are maggots, some of them are centipedes.
Oh, I hate it.
Everything about this thing seems to be living and autonomous all on its own.
Almost like a shambling mound. Like-
Yeah. So Hope is up next, and then we'll have Azaka after.
Oh, 1
Hope.
second.
Yeah.
I still need to do the.
Oh, I'm
attack
sorry,
for
Fenrir. Yeah.
Yes, he'll just use his action to make the normal attack.
Right.
It's
doesn't.
my spell attack modifier to hit. Sorry, I have to always remind myself,
It's
but
okay.
I should know this. Spell attack, so it's +5 to hit.
Yeah.
8, so that's right.
Sadly not.
Flanking. Flanking does
Oh
matter
yeah, it
now.
does have advantage.
It is not flanking.
With Azaka.
not?
It is with Azaka.
No, it's not. The way flanking works, I'm pretty sure it's the same as in Pathfinder. It has to. This doesn't work because it goes to the line
Oh,
goes to.
you're right.
to
Well,
adjacent
Fenrir
side. It wouldn't have
Fenrir
like
can
this.
just move one over.
You're right.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Azaka moves, then it will be flanking.
There you
Or
go.
like this.
That works.
No, no, flanking.
Now it's flanking.
Yeah, I thought that it would be. Okay, so that's the next
That
hit was a
lit.
23.
Okay.
Wait, did we say flanking was advantage?
For
Or was
flanking,
flanking the lower AC?
I'm pretty sure flanking is advantage.
In D&D 5e, it's advantage.
I
but
don't
some people
remember
argue
changing
that
it in our homebrew document.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people argue that it should just be like a +2 bonus or something, or like +2 for each person flanking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In Pathfinder, it's like the creature takes a -2 to their AC.
Yeah.
Which I feel like makes more sense, but
Either way,
this
you
works.
hit. So give me that good
8 damage.
or force damage. 8 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Fenrir
good damage.
chomps down on this thing, dealing a decent amount of damage.
And yeah, that's all that Fenrir will do for now.
Gets a
Sorry,
mouthful of
pass
troll.
on to. It spits it out immediately. This is disgusting.
Yep.
Even the robot dog knows that.
All right. Hope, and then Zaka's on deck. So Hope, would you give me a history check just to see what you can remember from trolls off the top of your head?
Okay.
Not enough. Nothing. You're drawing a lot of blanks today.
Hope's not doing great mentally. He looks to Azaka and is like, Azaka, you know you're awesome. Bardic inspiration.
She nods at you. Hard to read her expression behind her tiger mask, but she gives you a nod.
And then, holding his rapier in both hands, just because he knows that he's shaking too much, he runs forward and tries to attack.
All right, give me that attack roll. A 19. That will
19.
certainly hit this creature. You can roll your damage there. 10 piercing.
10!
Yeah. You stab into it, and more squishing and gooshing as bits and pieces of this thing come out.
No!
So Azaka
This
is
is
up
Hope.
next, and Lucia will follow. So, Mia, you get to go twice in a row.
Drop her bow and gonna smack the thing twice.
Yeah, she
with
pulls
a
out
back-
her scimitar.
Shakes his rapier off, trying to get the
First
back
one
off
misses.
of it.
The next one is going to hit. It takes 9 slashing damage. And it does not like that.
It's not happy.
No.
I have to check the thing. Because it has been some time.
So yeah, she does a quick flourish with her scimitars, slash, and then she leaves the creature open for Lucia to come in.
Yeah. Lucia is gonna smack it with her rip here. Or
Sadly
not.
The rest of you
key
can
point-
see it is glowing under the moonlight as well.
Gonna smack it twice with unarmed strike for a key point.
Okay.
18, 17.
Yeah, so you miss with your rapier, but you follow up with a pair of side kicks.
Use another key point to inflict. I forgot to click it before. Come on, roll the thing. Another 5 necrotic on top.
Okay.
So 11 bludgeoning, 5 necrotic.
Yeah, it doesn't like that. There's a nasty, stinking smell, like a burning, acrid smell when the necrotic hits it. And you see a number of those wiggling parts of this troll just sort of shrivel up and fall off of it. It's not having a great time.
Might have
Elspeth,
an even worse time soon.
you are the only one out
Right.
of range.
And I think the only one who
Yeah.
can do fire damage to it.
I have
the
one
weird thing with this
level
creature,
spell slot.
you can tell it is substantially larger than the space it takes up. The way that it's standing, it's sort of like a frog in the sense that it's not much taller than your friends at the moment because it's sort of crouched down trying to grab everybody. But you could tell this
Yeah.
thing, if it was fully up on its hind legs, this is a minor giant here.
Yeah, I'll shout. Does anyone have any oil?
I might actually.
Olaf says back in character.
No, I should. I always buy flasks of oil because I'm a little pyromaniac. Where are they?
I think we might have used one. We used one at some point, so we might have.
I have a tinderbox,
we-
but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. I'm just gonna. But are there any other targets within range?
As far as you can tell,
Or
it's
is it
just a
just
troll.
the? Okay, I'm gonna fire off a 2nd level chromatic orb.
Okay, let's see if it hits. That'll certainly hit with a 20 for sure.
And that is 15 fire damage.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I will use a sorcery point to quicken a arc bolt,
Okay.
which will miss.
I don't think you've ever hit with that.
I have hit with Chromatic Orb a few times.
No, Arc Bolt, I mean.
Oh, I think I've done it once or twice,
Okay.
but considering it's a cantrip, I've not hit with it a lot.
Yeah, your personal flavored fire bolt. Well, the chromatic orb certainly hits. You fire this chromatic orb off, and the rest of you watch as this light ball of orange hits, and the mud is blasted away. And anywhere the fire touches, the squirming just sort of stops, and the parts of it that are burned just completely stop moving. And it shrieks in terror and pain.
Touches.
At that, the troll doesn't like its chances. It's going to look around at the lot of you, and it's going to turn tail and try to run.
Does that initiate a bunch of...
It would if you would like to take them.
Yep.
Zaka 100% does.
I think
Well,
Hope would get off the first one, Hope and Fenrir. So we'll go in the order that they take place.
Oh.
Just to see who gets the final kill if it happens. So, Hope and Fenrir get the first melee attacks for reaction. A miss.
11.
A miss.
Advantage still because flanking.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Fenrir
Sadly,
anyway.
I don't think...
Nope.
Worse.
Next would be Olaf and... yeah, I'll do all three at once. So, Olaf and then Mia, you can roll for both your current characters.
Is Lucia gonna... Is the thing like clearly running away, not trying to come
Yeah,
back?
it's trying to get away from you guys.
Lucia
17's my best.
Okay.
Azaka will not have advantage, so hers would be a 14.
Okay. So with a 14 it misses. However, Olaf, you do hit with a 17. And Lucia, of course, seeing it's running away, isn't going to try to kill it. 10, yeah. So how do you kill this creature, Olaf?
Oh, I kill it?
Yeah, you're gonna finish this. How do you finish it?
So its back is turned to us, right?
Yeah, it was trying to run and jump down back off the escarpment here.
Can I retroactively make it a throat attack because it's running away?
Sure.
Just for the flavor?
Yeah.
Just straight into the center of the back, so that it just dies and falls flat before it jumps down.
Okay. So you don't want it to go over the edge.
Yeah, basic.
All right.
I don't want to lose the... I'll run up against it and then just stab it and then let it fall over.
That works.
Then,
You
I don't...
You come up behind it and you stab it like you're some ancient Greek sculpture. Lift up the troll with your mighty blacksmith's arms, and then you just sort of slough it
too
off
heavy,
the side.
throws it over.
Exactly. You slough it off the side. There's muck and shit everywhere. You're never going to get the smell out of the ground here. However, you survived, which is good. Good news. Good times. I'll share a picture of the troll, by the way. In your hand.
Oh, does that have a specific picture? Oh, no. Just
No, just a generic troll.
Okay.
It's just, it was hiding in muck, so, you know how it goes.
Is like, that was so gross.
That's 1,800 divided 5 ways. Levi was dead asleep.
Not 450 each. Is it 450? No, it's not 450 each. It's
1,800 divided by...
360 each.
Yeah, 360 XP each. As it sloughs off the side.
Ugh, disgusting.
Azaka nods. And she cleans her scimitars off best she can, and sheathes them again. And she'll settle down. She says, "Our watch was almost over. The rest of you should probably head back to sleep." That's not her voice. She has a Canadian accent. That was the thing I was doing, because I can't do an African accent. You guys should probably head back to sleep. Our shift is almost over. Yeah, so she'll squat down next to you, Olaf, and she'll say, make sure you clean your shit real well.
Yep, I don't have prestidigitation, sadly, but I can use a bit of flame to just sort of burn off the muck if need be.
You don't want this gunk sticking to you. Other trolls can smell it. They kill each other. It draws them.
Can I ask Elspeth to use a bit of prestidigitation to clean off Olaf?
Sure.
Yeah. Elspeth, if you wouldn't mind, I don't want to particularly smell like this for any longer.
Yeah. And Azaka will say, I don't know much about their ecology personally, but generally when you fight a troll, you're liable to run into more later because they can smell each other and they're pretty territorial. They're always fighting for some reason.
Do you think, based on how the troll's body reacted to the flame, it would be liable just to burning to a crisp if we were to light it on fire?
It's a reasonable assumption.
Or is it just better to leave it to just sit there?
Anybody that would like to, now that you're taking more time, you can make an active history check, or probably religion also. History or religion, if anybody would like to. Or actively try to remember more about a troll.
13. Probably not too good.
12 or 15. I'm setting this DC at 15 for the relevant information, if you get it.
Hey.
There you go. So, Elspeth, you know stories about the troll. You want to burn every trace of it. Because, as the story goes, every piece of a troll is the whole troll. One of the reasons they like to kill each other is that's how they reproduce. When they get split up into different pieces and torn about, a troll can grow from each part of the troll that gets ripped off.
Oh my.
We're going to...
So burn the body is a good idea.
Burn
Yeah, we're going to want
trace of
to
this
get
thing.
rid of all of it. Elspeth will, she'll cast Prestidigitation on Olaf, and you just feel like a little tingle and across your skin through your armor, and the smell is gone. And she'll just say, yeah, we're going to want to get rid of all of it. I'm all out of powerful magic for today, so we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Olaf is going to gather a bunch of, kindling and so on, throw it over the edge just to sit on top of the troll's body, and then drop a torch on top of it.
This thing seems to want to burn. As soon as the water evaporates around it, it's just instantly gone. You don't know how true that folklore is, by the way, Elspeth, but, it's better to be safe than sorry with this sort of shit. Since the two of you are doing the burning, I'll give one of you a sleight of hand check with advantage to see how well you get every piece of this thing.
I don't have a dexterity score, so I believe Elspeth should do this.
All right?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Elspeth.
Oh, okay. The important rolls is when
You definitely burn everything around you. You don't want to go down into the muck, so you just you burn the spot where you see the body, and you think you got it all, but you don't know for sure. But yeah, you're pretty sure. You toss the torch over, big explosion of greasy flame, burned out pretty quick. You probably got all of it.
As we get warming our hands on this fire, I'll just turn to Sol and say, I've been meaning to ask you, how does your magic work?
It's I don't know. Practice, I guess?
I mean, it seems like sort of like what a wizard does. Would you make stuff?
More or less. If it's makes sense, it's almost as if I'm inscribing runes in with a mental image, and then I'm making something. The runes aren't. Sorry?
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't really, does it? I wish I could give you a better answer, but frankly, it's more or less intuition a lot of the time.
Right.
I mean, he'll have Fenrir come up and he'll run his hand over, and you'll see runes glowing over him, and just say, they're there, but they're not sort of physical, if that makes sense.
Olaf, you recall at this moment being tutored by your father back when you were first picking these things up. Old Daddy Brandtrokk, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head right now.
I made a family tree.
Yeah,
I am ashamed of you.
Bad DM.
I'm joking.
You remember you were a wee lad. You could have been more than 6, and he was behind you on the forge, and you were working on a piece of iron, and he was showing you. He'd already showed you how to inscribe the ink marks on your hand, not permanent yet, but just to get yourself ready for later. And he was describing to you how, son, You gotta feel it, you know? The iron already knows what it wants to be. You just need to look and see it. Like, follow the grain in the iron. You can see the way it's laid down. Artisan, crafting, smithing, sculpting, what we do, it isn't so much creating as it is unveiling what is already there. Like Moradin with his blessed creations, the dwarves. He just spoke to the spirit that was already there and set it free with his creativity. Pats you on the shoulders, and you look up at his big, bushy, bearded face covered in pockmarks of burns from the forge. He says, "You, little boy, you are going to be the one to set the world free." And he just gives you a big, big smile. And that's the memory that comes back to you at this point.
There is a particular way I channel my magic, but maybe another time I'll show you. It's getting late, you need to get some rest. But if I could put it into one word, my magic is like art.
Oh, so you're
your
like
brother, actually.
Yeah. Right, I'll go and get some rest then.
All right. With that, we move to the second section of the night, as Azaka and Olaf's watch is finished. I believe the Amiras twins are up next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you trade spots. So why don't the two of you give me wisdom perception checks for your section of the night?
Oh, not with advantage. It's just a 16.
16, okay. You're reasonably sure nothing approaches you during the night. You hear the sounds of the jungle, the hooting of monkeys, the owls, the occasional chirps of a night bird. Towards the end of your shift, you're startled by a fluttering up above, and you see I don't know what to call them, actually, a murder of bats fly by overhead.
A flock?
And,
Swarm. It's a swarm
yeah,
of
a
bats.
swarm of bats fly overhead, and you hear some light plops as their little poops land on the ground around you. And you just get this smell of just fermenting mangoes as they pass by. But your part of the night passes by without too much to upset you. Lucia, you are actually woken by little butterscotch. Haven't seen them in a while. When you went up Firefinger, they disappeared, but Scotch always has a way to come back to you. So
during
Hope.
During our watch, Hope is like scrambling through, working through his book, and he's just like, I think I may have figured out a solution for a problem.
All right.
What do you mean?
Oh, I run out of any ability to hurt our enemies, like, pretty quick. I figured out a way that I can do things with a little less energy. No, I took the spell sniper feat, which means that I now have a damaging cantrip.
Why don't you give me a wisdom perception check, Elspeth?
All right. Another one?
Yeah, another one.
3.
Yeah. You don't notice anything particular. Just, Hope is really excited, leaning forward, and he's been scribbling in his journal a bunch. Yeah.
Now, I'll just say, when he says that, now you won't have to be right up in the front lines.
Which is something I'm quite excited about. That was horrible. He's still cleaning his rapier.
Yep. Yeah. With that, you trade places. Scotch, of course, woke you up first, Lucia, for your half of the night. Batting your nose. You awaken from your reverie, learned from the dancer. And they're just sitting there, looking at you, curious, head cocked to the side.
Yeah. I do the typical just randomly talking to Butterscotch about my day, what was on my mind. I wonder what language I would use. Likely Elvish. Maybe Celestial? It's Elvish.
As usual, Scotch doesn't really seem to absorb what you're telling them. They just sort of, they brrr when you touch them and sort of curl around your feet. And just sit there, keeping an eye out there with you. So.
I showed him my current progress with the statue and like, look, it's Mama.
Yeah. Sniffs it. Makes a little huff sneeze. Like a and then settles back down. Yeah. They just sort of sit with you to watch.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Shortly before they would wake me, I like go to them and like, hi, I think it's my turn.
Looks.
What were you going to ask, Guy?
How relevant would the Keen Mind feat be?
How so do you mean relevant? As in, like, a useful tool for the game? Maybe.
Yes.
Depends on how you use it.
True. I don't like taking just plain ability score improvements. I think they're boring, so...
That's fair.
I thought I'd do something a bit more interesting.
Why would you think this feat would come to Olaf at this time? What has changed about him as a person?
He's been trying to basically navigate and keep everyone on track.
Okay.
And I feel like this would be important. This is not what I thought it was.
Okay.
But also, we're on a time schedule, and if we can accurately work out how things are going and also never get lost, because you always know where north is.
Okay. So maybe this is a carryover of his already familiarity with spreadsheets and scheduling and keeping track of information and that sort of thing. So I feel like this would be a useful feat to pick up, since he's sort of taken that role on for the party.
Yeah, and also he could go definitely down more the combat side of things, but I feel like that will step on the toes of other party members and sort of feel a bit too diluted.
You take Olaf in whatever direction you want, Guy. Keen Mind seems to fit the sort of role he's fitting in the party, but he's definitely done enough fighting to pick up a fighting feat if you would prefer that.
I'll think about it.
Okay. While you're thinking about that, Lucia, you settle in. Give me a wisdom perception check. This is based on sound, if that's relevant. Whoa! Yeah, so you can tell, you're just sort of, you lean back and your eyes are just sort of scanning the treetops and you're waiting for something to happen, and you're listening to the breathing of your friends inside. And Elspeth's breath begins catching. And it's about 30 minutes into their sleep session. Elspeth begins gasping in her sleep.
I would go over and check on her, especially considering the potential diseases I know of the jungle. If it like fits with any of the ones I have. I mean, does it sound like she has trouble breathing?
Give me a medicine check.
Sure. 24.
Yeah. She doesn't seem to be sick as far as you can tell. It seems like a nightmare. I mean, her eyes underneath her lids are flashing back and forth really quick. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, is she going to smack me?
No, not quite.
8.
Yeah. Her eyes open all of a sudden, and there's no pupils. They're just pure white, and this shock of static comes out at you. You don't take any damage, but you take a nasty shock, and you drop her just out of reflex. Elspeth, you are dreaming. You are astride a beautiful white horse. You can feel its soft, gentle mane just sort of gripped in your hand. You are perfectly secure, even though you're not holding very hard. Just this mare beneath you is just perfectly conformed to your body. Beating upon either side of you, you feel massive wings, and when you turn your head, you see these giant swan wings that stretch out as far as you are tall to either side as this creature flaps through the air, this flying mare. When you look down at yourself, you see you're covered in this beautiful suit of scale mail. At your side is a long spear with a wide tip. It looks almost like a shovel. It's such a hefty spear. At your side is this beautiful silver short sword. And everywhere you look, you're looking through this narrow visor. You're very clearly wearing a helmet of some kind. You're not entirely in control of your actions, but, I mean, you can see some things as you move around. As you're flying, you feel yourself saying words in Celestial. You speak Celestial?
I do.
All right. The words that come out of your mouth, they are, "Come, woodland beings, come. We will ambush the Allfather's enemies. Come to me, come to my aid." And you look down below, and you watch as these fey spiritual wolves pop up out of the trees, as if the trees gave birth to them themselves, and they begin rushing forward. And you see, at the edge of a giant cliff below you, you see this tiny, narrow river flashing by below. You watch as these 3 massive creatures, covered in furs, absolutely not suited for the jungle they're in, white hair sort of sweating, dripping down their backs as they travel through the night, still not comfortable with even the nights of this tropic environment. These blue-tinted giant creatures finish their way climbing up the edge of this ravine, and one of them plops off 2 giant wolves off of their back and puts them on the ground. They're sort of glowing, shimmering with this white magic light around them. They are completely unbeknownst to you. And as your spirit wolves move in to attack them, you come in from above. You fire your bow off, hitting one of these giants in the back. They turn around, they hurl rocks at you. With 2 hits from the rocks, your Pegasus is knocked out of the air. You watch your friend go crashing into the ground, and you go falling with him. You hear the sounds of ripping and tearing as your wolves tear into the other giants and the wolves. And you look up in not a moment of fear as one of these giants comes charging at you with its axe raised high. You hold your spear up to the sky and you call down lightning upon your enemies. Smites the ground with a massive explosion of static. The first giant falls, dead. And you try to get away. But unfortunately, you're pelted with rock after rock. You underestimated your foes. Their shots are a little too good. And with a burst of pain, you come hurtling out of the sky and land as one of these giants throws this massive wolf, radiating white energy, throws it at you, and this wolf catches you in midair and drags you back down to the earth. You feel your wings that you didn't even know you had give out as it pins you to the earth. And then another giant comes up, looks down at you with a smirk, and says in a word in giant. You speak giant?
I don't think so.
No, you do speak giant because you took it for the same reason I thought it would be good, because it's more
giant.
of a Nordic language.
You see he puts a giant, massive foot down in your chest, and it smirks, and it says, "You will not stop Fimbulwinter." And then this giant axe just comes across and cuts off your head. And that's the moment at which your eyes open, and you can see that Lucia is above you, hurt.
Lucia, are you okay?
I was gonna ask you that. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'll just like look over myself, realizing that it was a dream.
Yeah.
I'm fine, I think.
Okay.
What happened?
You seemed like you had a nightmare. Well,
yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not hurt or anything.
Okay. If you need something, let me know. For now, I will get back to my watch.
Okay. I didn't hurt you, did I?
No, you just scared me a bit, but it's okay.
As she says that, you see her hair is all standing on end.
I don't. I'm sorry if you're a bit scared of me. I really don't. I would never do anything to hurt you.
Yeah, I know. I think it's all right. Don't worry. I trust you enough to travel with you. So let me know if I can do something for you. Besides that, maybe you should try and get more sleep.
Oh, alright.
I have some medicine that can help you have quite uneventful and dreamless sleep, if that helps.
No, I'm fine. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that kind of nightmare.
Oh, okay.
I think it meant something. But anyway, I'll leave you to your watch.
Yeah. Good night.
Right, and I'll head back to bed.
As you roll over, I'm going to put this on your character, Hana, because I feel like Levi would, since their watch is up next. Levi's probably sitting there rolling the coin between their fingers. They have this native copper coin covered in patterns. They're probably rolling it between their fingers, looking at you, thinking. Yeah. And they just shrug and also roll over to go back to sleep for a little bit.
Okay.
With that, morning comes. You complete a long rest. So who gets to level up?
I think we all level up.
Except for Levi, because Levi's not here today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Question, do we only do average HP or can we roll in theory?
You can roll for it, but you got to take what you get if you roll.
Yeah. There we go. It is exactly what I was
Exactly average. All right.
I do not know what feat to take.
While you guys finish leveling up, do we want to take a quick bathroom break? We're a little past the halfway point, but I feel like that's
that sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Someone please tell me which feat to take.
I'll be back in a second.
Abby, you there?
Do you want my advice?
Yes, please.
Keen Mind is a good one. If you want, do you have an odd int score? Do you want like a half feat?
My int score is currently 16. All my scores are even.
Oh, okay. You could just take an ASI, but if you really want a feat, there are some cool ones in Dragonlance.
Dragonlance?
Yeah, the new Dragonlance, but...
Is that something we're using? Is that like official content, sorry?
It's official content, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I haven't been keeping up with the book's releases. There's a Minecraft Monsters Compendium? What the fuck?
Yeah, they
that
had
is-
Minecraft.
Okay, so it's called Dragonlance.
You could take medium armor or heavy armor master.
I think I'm already proficient in...
Here.
But if you get medium armor master lets you heavy armor master lets you like subtract 3 from any damage you take.
Yeah, but heavy armor is going to be very bad in this campaign. At least in the early stages. I have light armor and medium armor proficiency, but I feel like we're going to overheat while we're traveling. And I feel like if we're entering the actual tomb of Tomb of Annihilation, it'll become good. So I can take the feat later on, I believe. But more or less, what would be good now? What the fuck is Meta Magic Adept?
It lets you take some sorcerer
Let's
stuff.
do sorcerer stuff.
I'm good.
It gives you 2 extra sorcery points, which honestly is pretty
I have to also make sense for Olaf as a
Rolled
character.
No damage.
Fucking died.
That dissonant whispers really fucked it over.
I was thinking of being a basic.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about Dissonant Whispers. It's so helpful.
What weapon do you use?
It's very flexible right now. Eventually,
Yeah,
I want to get to a great sword, but that's up to what I find. I was thinking of either being basic and taking either Alert, Keen Mind, or Sentinel.
You could take Slasher.
Slasher?
Yeah, it's on Tasha's. You get a +1 to strength or dexterity. When you hit a creature with an attack that deals slashing damage, you can reduce its speed by 10. And when you crit with something that deals slashing damage, you grievously wound it, and it has disadvantage on all attack rolls.
If I'm not mistaken, the trident does piercing damage, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can take Piercer for that. You can reroll one of the attack damage dice. And when you score a crit that deals piercing damage, you can roll one additional damage dice.
Oh my lord, you could roll 4?
Just go full crit fish build.
That would be fun. Just get to
I don't want to
like for champion, so you have crit on the 18.
I feel like that'd be a bit boring. I don't know. I want to be more roleplay with the build of the character. So that's why I was thinking like alert or sentinel would be good, because it's the idea of like being sort of the sort of defender of the party rather than the attacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whenever I hit a creature, its speed becomes 0 on an opponent, and then I can even hit creatures if they take disengage, and then I can also hit other people when they attack people other than me. If they're within 5 feet of me. That seems pretty good for Olaf, I think. I like the idea of him being more of a defender than the outright fighter. Even though I built him to be an impulsive character, I think he's taking on a more protective role.
Okay.
Sentinel's always good, and later on, if you want, you can combine it with Polearm Master.
It'd become an absolute menace.
And we can see Hope is growing in more of a sniper direction, taking inspiration from his sister.
Yeah, I just need something to do once I run out of spell slots.
Also, Olaf could still be impulsive. He can just be impulsively protective.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to go to the toilet because I was worrying about which thing to do.
You can head out to the bathroom. Yeah, it's only been 8 minutes. You got time.
The Monsters Compendium with Minecraft creatures is just free. It has blazes, creepers, ender dragons, endermen, and wolves.
I feel like those are all already basically exist in D&D.
Yeah.
Endermen are basically the Night Stalker thing from Volo's... Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. I guess we don't really have something like creepers, do we? But blazes are just fire elementals. Skeletons are just skeletons. And zombies are just zombies.
It doesn't have skeletons or zombies.
That makes sense.
I think it has the Ender Dragon in it as well.
Yeah, no, I said that. Blaze, creeper, ender dragon, ender man, and wolf dragon? Of the overworld.
No, it's a bit different.
Yeah, ender dragon doesn't have
so
breath
strange.
It doesn't.
Which is weird.
It has like an AoE that it puts down, but it's not. Yeah. It doesn't have like an actual like instant breath weapon.
I had a craving for Japanese snacks the other day, and I went to indulge a mochi addiction. And not only was mochi on sale, but they had a shit ton of milk tea jugs on sale as well for like half off. So I got like 27 things of mochi for $1 off each.
Oh, nice.
And then 3 massive jugs of milk tea for half price.
Nice.
It's very nice. Anything special about Lucia's level up?
Yeah, 2 things. So, she had a weird feeling the whole day.
Yep.
Especially after, basically after she got hit with the spear and lost a lot of blood.
Yep.
She remembers a time where she was really, really young, like 5-6 years old, where she cut herself very badly and it just wouldn't stop bleeding.
Yes.
And just kept on and on and on until she was super anemic, unconscious. And she felt really cold back then, and always had like clammy hands, and it kept on going. Like she had this condition for like half a year or something. She has a similar feeling now, but instead of feeling cold, she still feels cold, but it doesn't feel unpleasant. Like it's more like a nice chill on the evening of a summer day for her. So she's actually kind of feeling like it's nice for her, and she feels like it is a bit different, that the body is not just trying to get the blood back, but it's just, this is how it is now.
Yeah.
She's kind of
Yeah.
contemplating that with her clammy hands. And in the morning, when the sun starts to rise, she looks at her skin and notices that she's just a tiny bit paler than she used to be.
Yeah.
And the other thing that she was thinking about the whole night was, okay, how can I try to like land properly in a way that I don't take as much damage from falling, because she's just scared of falling and dying from that. So she got slow fall.
Very good, very good. Yeah. So I think the feat you took, our resurrected 3rd edition feat, it's probably something along the lines of you've mastered your pulse. You have a little more control of your metabolism. So when you're frightened, you can just sort of slow it down and just sort of keep yourself in this cool, clammy space. And Lucia doesn't know what benefits that will have yet, but we all know. So now we just gotta wait for Guy to come back. I can hear myself echoing over his mic.
I think when...
Good.
I guess I didn't ask for Elspeth if there was anything new and fancy about Elspeth. We saw Hope gets the new spell. Very good.
Yeah.
I had a odd charisma score, so I decided to take Fey Touched, flavouring it as more of a divine thing. I have Command, because it's on the cleric spell list, kind of to represent that, like commanding, like be not afraid, let angels do.
No, that fits.
And
That's perfect.
then I have Misty Step, which I was going to take anyway. So, kind of going with the wind theme,
Very good.
which moving super fast.
Very good. And yeah, anything other than your new spell, Hope?
I mean, more new spells, mostly.
More new spells.
Specifically for the level up. I got a new cantrip, plus the spell sniper cantrip. I swapped out Fairy Fire for Bane, and learned Borrowed Knowledge.
Very good.
Which means I'm going to be even more of a skill monkey.
Okay.
Ooh.
I considered getting either skill expert or skilled, both of which would have given me like more proficiencies and things. But I went for spell sniper in the end because I need something that I can use to hurt people.
Okay, this
definitely
seems
helps.
decently balanced for a second level spell. Yeah, I'd let that be reskinned as a lightning rather than radiant.
Nice.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to be taking a lot of inspiration from Dark Souls for some spells.
There's a. I'll just tell you when we find it. I was also taking inspiration from the FromSoft games because they're very good.
They are very good.
But I ended up stealing from a different game instead because it fit better. You'll see.
Oh, okay.
And when Hope wakes up, he kind of talks to himself for a while. He's talking to his mom.
Yeah.
Or mother, really. He doesn't know whether she's listening, but he kind of felt a little reassurance earlier with the troll and figures maybe she's paying attention.
Give me a what should we call this?
Hey,
This would
Murphy.
be a charisma check. No skill set in there.
All right.
Just a d20 plus your charisma modifier.
Charisma check. 14.
You talk to your mother like you always have. You feel a little better. And you notice Six has been sitting with her nose out of your pocket. And she's just sort of peering up at you lovingly as you talk to your mom.
Hey there, sweetheart.
She squeaks.
How's it going?
She squeaks and appreciates a little finger rub.
Yeah. Little scratches for the cute little mousey.
You hear little high-pitched squeaks as she's ticklish, as you tickle her.
Good little kitty cat. I said kitty cat. I don't know why I said kitty cat. I said kitty
Close
cat
enough.
because I could see my cat. Good little mouse.
Scotch, on the other hand, is probably still at your feet, Lucia, as you finish your section of the watch. Yeah, they've just been sitting there, just silently staring off into the night with you. And as people start stirring, Scotch will stand up and do a big, long stretch, and then do their customary walk around, greeting everybody. Though a lot of you haven't seen them for a few days. You have no idea where they go. They just sort of disappear for a while, then come back.
I'm pretty sure they showed up while we were in the tower.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, you took your rest, and then disappeared again.
Where does that cat go to? How does it keep following us?
I mean, it's my cat. Or my mother's cat. He usually likes to go on adventures.
How
He's
does it...
always somewhere nearby. You get used to it. He's been doing that since I've come to the farm. Like,
It seems to understand. It seems to understand common speech in a way that regular animals don't. So I think it's
I must say that he is just very smart.
possibly a little more than a regular cat, or just a really, really intelligent cat.
Apologies, I have returned.
Oh, that's
It's
okay.
not
We're just doing stuff around the morning.
special.
Um,
Mama always said
Yeah.
that he's just more than just a cat.
Butterscotch, the cat, comes up and rubs against your leg. But when you reach down to try to... Well, would you reach down to try to pet them, I would guess? Would Guy do that?
No.
Olaf?
Yeah. Or would is
Sorry.
Olaf the type of person that would ignore a cat?
Olaf loves cats.
All right.
Many stray cats would wander into the forge and sleep by the
There you
fire
go. Give me an animal handling check.
for the warmth.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. He will sort of go, reach down with the back of his hand very slowly. He's not one of those heavy petters. But who knows?
Good to know.
-1, 6.
Yeah. You reach down and Scotch does that thing that cats do where they just sort of become like way heavier than they should reasonably be and just sort of drops out of the way, just like perfectly so that none of their fur touches your hand and just sort of slinks away like, and they give you a dirty look over their shoulder like, you thought you were going to pet me? God.
I'm a little hurt, but I can't tell the cat what to do.
They go back over to Lucia and jump up on your shoulders, and they do little kitty biscuits on your shoulder and then become a little scarf, tail wrapping around your chin.
Oi.
Just sort of peering out at everybody.
I'm being attacked by my cat.
Yeah, I see that.
Diva.
All right, Olaf,
Oi.
was there anything else about the level up that you wanted to talk about or share with the class? Anything new and fancy? Besides
I chose Sentinel because I think that'll be beneficial rather than just taking straight bonuses to stuff. I'll probably take a bonus to intelligence at some point,
used to
but
think you
16 is a
wanted
comfortable level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying, and it'd be good just to be a sort of bashing protector.
Yeah. All right. With that, you guys wake up in the morning feeling advanced, feeling stronger, feeling faster, feeling smarter. And you set off. You break camp and set off for the day. Oh, pardon me. The weather today, I rolled super low on the wind and the precipitation again. So not a lot of wind, not a lot of rain. However, I did roll as high as I could on the heat table. So it is extremely hot today. So if you move at a normal pace, you're going to consume, well, you're going to consume twice the amount of water. But if you move at fast pace, you're going to be taking levels of exhaustion. So you're going to need to take your time today, unless you want to rush. So that is up to you. It is extremely hot today, and stifling. No wind, no rain to wash it away.
Wonderful.
So what is your approach like as you approach Ataaz and Muhaha? Tell me about your journey through this sweltering jungle as the sun beats piteously down upon you.
Go for the shadowy places. Try to find some water, because we need something to cool up.
Makes sense.
I'm guessing Levi wouldn't wear the armor because it would just melt.
Yeah. Levi probably takes the breastplate off. All right.
During the day, I will try to look out for the kind of plants that we used before, the ones that hold a lot of water.
Okay. In that case, give me a survival check as you're looking for these. And remember, these you'll only be able to forage enough water for one person. Unfortunately, not. You're going to need a fresh source of water, or stop traveling halfway through the day.
Okay.
But yeah, you make your way forward, and you are rapidly approaching the cliff. You can feel that there's a bit of an incline in the ground as you begin heading uphill, and the trees get a little bit thinner towards the ravine, and pretty soon you're unrestricted directly under the sun. Can I get perception checks from everybody?
I'm guessing vision.
Yeah, any of your senses. You're just looking around.
I'm going to use Thingy. Fenrir, if that's okay. If Fenrir, if that's okay, that's all.
Okay. Wisdom perception checks.
Lucia is basically just half blind the whole day because it's so sunny and so hot.
7, so that doesn't matter. Can I make one as Olaf, or just leave it at that?
No, you can absolutely make it.
Okay.
Elspeth, with a 20 perception check. You don't quite arrive at the bridge. When you come out of the trees, you can see that the massive gorge opens up in front of you. It drops down like 100 feet straight down. You can see there are birds flying each way across it. If we were in Lord of the Rings, a Howard Shore score would be just crescendoing right now as the helicopter shots sweep through the gorge. So you're looking down at all of this, and you see down the way, off to your left quite a ways, there's a stone bridge that extends the distance across it. It looks fairly old and abused, but you can see it off in the distance there to the left. The thing that catches your eye, or rather I should say your nose, is a particular smell that you're very familiar with. Ozone. This is the sort of smell you get after you cast spells with lightning, or when lightning itself strikes from the sky. It is wafting your way off to your right, away from the bridge.
Away from the bridge?
Yes. So the bridge is off to your left, maybe 10 miles or so, whereas this smell is coming off from your right.
I'll just say to the party, something isn't right. I can smell ozone up ahead. You should probably be careful.
Maybe it's your doppelganger.
What does
I hope
mean?
so. It's like what lightning magic makes. When you cast lightning, it makes the air smell different.
Okay. So it's not normal to have it here?
It's not normal now.
So
It hasn't been raining for the past, recently, has it?
No. Yesterday there was no rain, and there's absolutely no rain today. And again, it's sweltering heat.
I mean, you're the thunder lightning person. Should we investigate, or should we rather go to the bridge like we were supposed to?
Let's cross first, I think.
Okay. You absolutely can. You begin heading towards the bridge. As you're making your way down to the bridge, can I get more perception checks to see what you find? I'm assuming you're sticking close to the cliff's edge because you don't want to lose sight of it.
Yeah. As we're walking across this cliff, I want to just say to Hope, you know when you talk to Mom, what's that like? You know when you dream?
Oh. I mean, it used to be I fall asleep and I'm just kind of there with her. She doesn't really do that with me anymore. I just kind of feel her. But
So it's like an actual conversation, not like metaphors or anything?
Before we left for Chult, it was like straight up actual conversations. Now I just kind of talk to the air, and maybe she's listening, maybe she's not. I don't know. She told me she kept an eye on us when we were kids, so I assume she's still keeping an eye on us.
I had a weird dream last night. I had a weird dream last night. There was some sort of angel or Valkyrie fighting some giants. They said I would never be able to stop Fimbulwinter.
I mean, she kind of looks like an angel.
As you
But
say this,
all twisted.
Yeah, you can continue this conversation. But Azaka is going to raise a hand, quick, and she goes, "Hist! Something up ahead."
Okay.
So she is going to go up further.
Stealth?
Who would like to go with her?
Hello.
I'm relatively okay at stealth.
Anybody that would like to follow her?
I'm going to follow her. I'm going to.
Okay, is everybody
I
going?
won't.
Because that's entirely possible.
I feel like
not a good idea,
I feel like
but
everyone going was kind of a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'll try and stop Hope from going. So
Yeah. She's more implying that her and one other should go ahead while you guys wait.
okay, I'll stop.
Well, I guess the
Kind of
best one to
wait.
stop, which I'm pretty sure is Lucia.
All right, Lucia, go ahead.
There you go. So
Hang out with your mom.
Mia,
I'm
give me
not three.
two stealth checks from Azaka and Lucia, and Hope and Elspeth, you can continue having your conversation.
Good job, Asaka.
I think if we're trying to hide from something up ahead, we're not gonna be talking.
Okay.
I know I want out of the conversation. I'll say to Hope, I know what Fimbulwinter is, don't I? That's like a pretty big part
Yes,
of
you absolutely.
mythology.
Isn't it the
Yeah.
witcher that's right before Ragnarok?
Yeah, that's like knowing
Yeah.
about the tribulation of the end times and the beast and all that nonsense for Christians. It is
I
very
don't know what either of those things were. But
You're lucky.
Leads up to the rapture, I presume?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
stuff
not
like that.
this, yeah. Anyway, I'll just say, do you think this is Fimbulwinter, the death curse?
I mean,
If
it could be
If there's-
related.
if there was an end of days, then this seems like it would be it. All the world's greatest heroes are dying.
It'd be pretty scary if that was true. I don't know. I'd ask for an answer if I could, but she doesn't really talk back on a regular schedule.
There were some giants as well. I've not heard anything about giants in Chult. I'm not sure if it's like important or not. It could be.
I don't know.
Right. I'm done. We can see what Asaka's doing.
Well, I sent Mia a message about what the two of them find.
Oh,
I will be.
spooky.
Oh my. Yeah, that is something.
Yeah. So how would the two of them react to this?
I would be a bit shocked.
Yeah.
It's a pretty gruesome sight.
Yeah. Also not
I'm
very
gonna-
expected.
I'm going to give you a thing real quick.
Yep.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I would try to look around and listen if there's something that could have done this.
Yeah. Give me a wisdom perception check. Azaka will too, but Azaka will make this with advantage because of her particular traits.
I will have it. Oh, is it not just vision?
No, this one is smell-based. Which,
Oh.
I don't know actually if she has keen senses. But I'll give it to her.
Hearing and smell.
Yeah. This is
20.
smell-based. So with a 20 from Azaka, she smells something up ahead and carries you on forward. You walk a good, 50 feet more, and I will quickly type you what you see. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves to everybody else.
Does Olaf overhear what Hope and Ellie are talking about? And if he does hear, does he listen?
He might. If it's, I'm assuming this will be up to us as players to roleplay this, but he might hear bits and bats. But the mention of Fimbulvinter is a bit worrying. But he doesn't want to listen too much because he doesn't want to, intentionally intrude on their privacy. But he can't stop himself from hearing little bits by just plugging his ears or anything. He's not going to do anything like that.
Has me worried, but not much we can do about it.
I think we're doing all that we can do about it right now.
Exactly. Not much we can do about it, other than what we're already doing.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with the last sight being pretty gruesome, how gruesome is this in comparison?
Much, much worse. I will let you make the check, but Azaka is not frightened of this, so she will hold you close and you can have advantage on this save.
Oh my goodness, you found something
I'm
else?
going to say that I would have just auto-failed it without Azaka, so I'm just going to run. I'm fine.
19, yeah. No, you
Nothing
stomach your way through it. You feel the panic rising, but with your newfound sense of center and control over your pulse, you bring yourself back down. And Azaka's actually going to look at you and tilt her head curiously. She's going to say, "You're colder than you
I'd
were."
rather know nothing.
Yeah.
This is making me so worried.
Yeah, I noticed. It's weird.
She says,
I feel fine though.
"Oh, I believe you, but should we tell the others about this? Something... it's not a nice sight, but we don't generally see those here. And something that beautiful dead is... it's not a good sign."
It is quite gruesome. Maybe we should just tell them that we should take a long way around.
All right. She looks back over the suit. I would like you to make me a wisdom perception check, real quick, based on sight.
Uh-oh. 8.
Okay, one for Azaka as well. So you're taking one last look at the gruesome sight.
Jesus.
She spots the location of the part that was missing.
Oh.
Yep. And she comes out of the bushes.
What fucking CSI bullshit are you guys seeing? This is horrifying.
What is going on?
And yeah, she looks at you and she says, "Do you recognize this?" I'll describe it to you. Continue your conversation.
Everything is fine.
Everything's fine. Nothing's wrong.
It's all good, guys.
Definitely fine, yeah.
I can't focus on whatever we were talking about anymore.
Oh, fine. Definitely fine.
Have you ever, I don't know, seen her? Mother?
I've not. I think. I don't know. I just don't have the same connection.
Maybe it's because I got her.
You got her rocks.
I got her new self. You got her old self.
Spencer, you're doing it. You can't do this to me. The in-character thing for me to do would be just telling them that place is dangerous. Let's do the long way around.
Okay.
And not mention anything more.
This is in the way to the bridge, so you are going to have to pass through here anyway.
But you can do the long way, like
That's true.
That's true. Other way around. So yeah, let's see.
That's true.
Me as the player is like, okay, I need to tell a certain person this.
Yeah.
Me as the character, nope. No. But I also feel like it would be a bit of a dick move to not tell the person.
Yeah.
So what do I do?
That's a great question.
I'm saying character.
Why don't you give me an insight check? Because you are the one that found her last night.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, let's see if you can put it together.
I mean, I know a bit about the person, right? That's not disadvantage, that's a 21.
Yeah. You don't know the details, but this has her vibe written all over it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know what this is now.
I'm so confused.
So the question is, Azaka will see that you see it too, and she'll say, do we lead them here, or do we bring it to them?
I actually want to ask her something. She had a nightmare yesterday. And I want to ask her about it. I mean, she's a bit of a mysterious one.
Azaka
And I
nods.
feel like maybe this has something to do with her.
She looks at
And
you.
if so, I feel like she should see.
She looks at you seriously and says, "You are better with people than I am. Do you trust her?"
I'm going to be honest, I don't think I really trust her. She has done a lot of things that I don't agree with. For reasons that I can accept. But I guess I trust her well enough for us to travel with her. But that's about it.
Yeah, Azaka nods. She says, "We've all done questionable things. Whether because we were scared, because we were desperate. I don't know if we can really hold that against her. Of course, I don't know what you've seen. You traveled with her before. And we don't even know what this does.
Yeah.
I'll leave it up to you. Either way, I should do something with this. This is clearly an important person."
Yeah, let's go back and I'll talk to her.
You go ahead. I'll prepare the body. If you're not back in 10 minutes,
Okay.
I'll bury it.
Stay safe. I'll
She nods.
be quick. Maybe we're not that far away.
Yeah. You make it back to the party.
Mm-hmm.
So the three of you are standing nervously at the cliffside. Levi's just there, sort of doing their Levi thing, and
Vibe.
Fenrir is wagging their tail, looking at the world for the first time.
Is everything okay? What?
Do you have a minute, Elspeth? I have a question.
Yeah, right.
I will take you a good way away from the others, like out of earshot. Can you tell me about your dream last night?
Okay. I was riding on back of a horse with wings, and we were gonna fight some giant. There were some wolves with us, and I think we killed one of them, but another one knocked me off my horse and decapitated me.
Did it feel real to you?
It didn't feel like a normal dream. It felt like it had some sort of meaning.
And you see she's like clearly like thinking, debating with herself. I
What did you see?
think you should see it yourself. It's not a pretty sight,
Right?
but I guess it will make sense once you see the first body. And
Okay.
I will try to lead you towards the spot and ask the others to wait a tiny bit.
Okay. I'll narrate this part out loud so everybody can be involved. Elspeth, Lucia leads you through the woods a bit of a ways, and you find a massive cracked boulder, underneath which you see a once beautiful white horse with giant swan wings. This broken horse of this body is leaking this beautiful blood that smells of wildflowers, and it is like quicksilver. It reflects everything around it. You can see the sky reflected in this thing's blood. It is weirdly pleasant, but it is still a corpse that has been brutally murdered.
That's what I saw in my dream. Is there anything else?
Did you see this as well? And I point towards the body that I'm guessing Azaka is trying to get the frost wolf on.
You lead Lucia further in, and you see Azaka has pulled a body out of the mouth of this massive wolf. It's like 10 feet long. She's pulled a body out of the jaws of this thing. It has no head, but it has these beautiful eagle wings spreading out of her back. She's wearing this red leather and interwoven with blue scale mail, the armor that she's wearing, and placed gently where her head would have been is this massive double-horned helm with these deep eye sockets that are just crackling with electricity. And as you walk into the clearing where this corpse is, the eyes seem to bore into you as if they recognize you.
She's just like stunned silence. From the dream, she was calling the wolves to her side, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna walk over to the body, just put my hand in it, make sure it's real, and say, yeah, this is what I saw. I don't know anything about her, but in my dream I was looking through her eyes.
Azaka looks up from the helmet where she's been staring, almost mesmerized at the eye sockets of this thing. It has the image of like a skull, but it has like a porcelain doll's mouth. It's very unconcerning. Azaka looks up from it, and she says, I don't know what this thing is, but whatever it is, it fought pretty damn hard.
Sorry.
She motions over to the wolf's body, and you can see that there's frost built up on the fur of this creature, and everywhere in the ground that it touches is just frozen solid.
I think there are going to be giants nearby. Have you seen giants in the jungle before, Saka?
She shakes her head. Nothing other than trolls. I think those are giants. How big of a giant are we talking?
One of the bigger ones.
Like 20 feet tall? History check real quick. As I search.
History check. Yeah. Definitely bigger than 15.
Yeah. Okay, they are here.
I got a 1.
So they are going to be... Actually, is there a lore page on this? Height. Tell me the height of frost giants.
They're really big.
They are very big. Well, they're huge, so they're at least 15 feet tall, because that's how big their token is. Basically big. And it would be a very, very bad idea to fight one, is the thing that you get across, because these things, all together, you might be able to take one. And there were 3 that you saw in your dream, even if one presumably died.
I'll just say I there was more than one in the dream, and if she couldn't kill them all, then I doubt we have a chance against one.
Azaka nods and she says, we think the magic is magical. Is this... Oh, sorry. Did I say the magic
the magic is magical?
We think the armor is magical. I didn't want to desecrate the corpse. This is clearly something not of this world. Do you want to take it?
I could try. I can't really wear armor very well.
She nods and she says, There's a power in here. I don't know what it is. Lucia and I were wondering, what would you do with it if you had power? Some kind of power. What do you want?
I don't really know what I want. I just want to be free to do my own thing, but I'm not really sure what that is, to be honest.
Zaka smiles and says, that's honestly the answer I would have given. Yeah, she looks down at the body again and she says, if you dreamed about this, it's probably for you, but I'm not going to make you take it. I was going to bury it regardless.
I think I'll reach towards the helmet.
Yeah.
I think my food is hurt, sorry.
Oh, damn, bad timing.
Yeah, really bad timing.
Meanwhile,
we'll be back. Well, as Abby gets her food. How's everybody else doing? Sorry, Olaf and Hope, you guys got kind of left in the wings in this episode. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
How you doing?
I'm about to roleplay Night Terrors if that's what's needed.
Nice.
Huh. Hope's just kind of waiting and tapping his feet. I say feet, hooves. Slightly anxious, but
Yeah.
He doesn't know why they brought Ellie forward and left the rest of us back here.
Olaf, realizing there's nothing we can do but wait, is going to play patty cake with Fenrir to test its tensile mobility.
Yeah.
If Hope ever turns to him with like any sort of look of like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, it's for science.
Hope definitely watches with like a slight amount of incredulity, but just kind of accepts it with a shrug.
The two of you guys have a bit of time here at the edge of the thing while you're waiting for everybody else. Do you want to explore the edge of the gorge at all? Do you want to look further down? Do you want to do anything with your time other than just hanging around?
Without stepping too far from this place, I'd like to do that, but I don't want to step too far that they can't find us if they come back to find. If they come back.
Hope doesn't want to get into danger without the rest of our friends.
Yeah, basically, Olaf will remain within Hope's line of sight.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can creep your way up to the edge. Give me a perception checks, the both of you.
Wait, do you mean me and Hope or me and Fenrir?
No, you and Hope both.
16.
3.
Hey, there you go.
I'm cleaning my hoof.
Yeah. Olaf, you can hear just distantly this odd sound. For the first little bit, you thought it might be wind, but you swear it's laughing. Just hundreds of voices laughing in the distance. It's like super low, and you didn't notice it until you got closer to the edge.
It's going crazy. Is the gorge mocking me?
As you peer left and right,
Huh?
you don't see any source of the laughing.
I think the gorge is mocking me.
I mean, they did call it the Laughing Gorge.
Is it? Wait, sorry, I missed that. Is it actually called the Laughing Gorge?
It is called the Laughing Gorge.
The bridge is called Muhaha.
What the? Where am I not?
Ataaz
Oh my
Muhaha.
god! I did not. What? Is that real?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a child, but that is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Do you
I noticed
hear
that earlier and thought it was the best thing.
Do you not hear that, Hope? I hear like a laughter.
Once it's been pointed out to me, can I hear it?
Yeah. When you sort of wait, like real quiet, you can hear it. It's like a distant, just like chorus of laughter. And as you're listening, it picks up in volume, and maybe that's why you're beginning to hear it. It's sort of, and as the laughter sounds, it goes like, it seems like it's in stereo, going from one end of the chasm to the other, getting louder and louder, and then you can't deny that you hear it. And then all of a sudden, dead silence.
Well, that's weird.
Do you want to go back and play patty cake with my dog?
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Abby.
Yeah, no, let's go play patty cake with your dog.
I like the idea that both of us are extremely shook by this. Like, holy shit, that's scary.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Patty cake.
Okay.
I don't know how this song goes.
So here's
We
the
can
question.
play one of those games that you can play with 3 people.
Is Elspeth going to take the suit of armor, or is she just going to help Azaka bury the body of this probably Valkyrie?
I think she'll take the helmet,
Okay.
given that that's just sat there.
Okay. Yeah, you absolutely can. Yeah, it crackles with electricity, but as is usual, as you're used to, the static just sort of washes across your hands, doesn't deal any damage to you. But you now have a helmet. Interestingly, you turn the helmet over, no head in it. And you didn't see one in the bush either. The helmet just sort of is a thing, all on its own. You don't see a neck stump, it's just hollow.
So I'll just say to, like, myself and to the helmet, do you have any, what should I do?
If you feel it is for you, you should, I guess, try putting it on. I mean, it seems to be radiating electricity.
I'll put it on.
Okay.
And you die. Bye-bye.
It's a helmet of head devouring.
I'm happy to jury rig something real quick, because you did something I didn't quite expect. You only took the helmet, so I'm going to change some of the language on this real quick.
The helmet devouring, it's basically a mimic that instantly eats what's inside it.
I actually contemplated making that a magic item to really fuck with people.
I need you to please make me a charisma saving throw.
Oh no! A cursed item!
11.
Okay. Also an 11.
Meet it, beat it.
I think you're the defender. So you win.
You're right.
What you feel when you put the helmet on your head is you feel sort of a cold breath on your neck, and a voice sort of tracks its way around your head from one ear to the other. But you can't really see anything. It's completely pitch black inside the helmet. This voice says, "Who are you that takes upon my helm?"
Elspeth Amirasdottir.
Elspeth Amirasdottir, what makes you worthy to wear the set of Gondor Wand Wielder?
I don't know. I'm strong, self-sufficient.
As all women should be. This is no great feat. How would you serve the All-Father?
I don't serve the All-Father, I serve my family.
You hear a hiss of disgust, and this voice says, "Shieldlings serve the All-Father. We ride forth to collect for the halls."
What happened to you?
Death. 1,000 deaths, 1,000 ways. I have moved from one to another, and each body has failed me. I came here to find it.
Find what?
The All-Father saw, in the pool of Mimir, a ring, coated in ice.
Oh.
It would bring the winter unending. It would bring on the twilight of the gods.
I could find that for you.
You feel this icy cold sensation of fingers pressing into your temples. And she says, "You will let me take you."
No.
I am Gondul, Wand Wielder. I rode with Sigrid. I was the one. I don't remember. I lost it in my notes. She says, "I did his bidding on these mortal planes. I moved things. I changed chess pieces. I am better at this task. It is why I was sent. You will give me control. Such power is not meant to be used in the hands of a weak little girl with no sense of purpose."
Why do you think that you deserve my... What? You want to take control of my body?
Yes, a vessel for a greater power. For the greater good.
I am the greatest power, and this is the greatest good that there will be.
She hisses. And with that, those fingers, they sort of scrape down your face, and you feel this awful sensation of like something dragging you down, down, down. Then all of a sudden you can see. And what Azaka and Lucia see is those crackling pits of the skull-like face suddenly come alight. You don't see eyes, but you do see crackling electricity. These tiny little motes of white appear at the back of those skull eyes. And Lucia, you can see now out of this helmet. And I will share with you the basic part of this armor. Once you have fully attuned to it, you will learn more.
All right.
Does Elspeth seem fine?
She went sort of stock rigid, and every muscle in her body tensed. And now, once the eyes turn on, she relaxes. So you will see Gondal's set. I'll change this to Gondal's helm in magic items. So this is an item that raises your AC by 1. And you gain resistance to thunder damage while you wear it. There are other features which you'll have to spend a short rest attuning to it.
Okay.
But for now, she did not take over your body. So you're in control of yourself.
Are you okay? You didn't seem very there for a bit.
I'm fine. Whatever brought down on that might have been celestial, but I don't know how good of a person it was.
Is it a screenshot from God of War Ragnarok?
It is. It is the best
Nice.
version of this lore that has been put to screen, in my opinion. So, of course I'm going to steal. Also,
Yeah, it's
this is
pretty good.
the only visual interpretation of this character. She exists in the Prozetta and a couple other ones. And I couldn't find any drawings of her as herself. Just the God of War is the only one. So, props. They really dug deep on that one.
Fair. I just like that. It's just wait a minute. Is this just God of War? It's like yes.
Yes.
Love that.
But yes, this horrid face looks at you with deep set skull eyes and the vacuous nose of a skull and that uncomfortably feminine mouth plate just sort of sitting at the front of the face. And you can see it's sort of the base of it, it's flush with Elspeth's skin. Her neck sort of just becomes the helmet. And then chain sort of dangles over top. But yes,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long I want to be wearing this, but it seems that whatever powers in this can help us.
all right. Azaka nods, and then she continues bearing the body, and she would like to do so with a Pegasus as well, out of respect.
All right. I'll help her as much as I can.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got a theme with like the masks going now.
Yeah. Yeah, when Elspeth returns to you guys, you see this face on her face.
Well, that's not weird at all.
Yeah, if I go crazy, I will try to knock the helmet off your head, if that's okay.
Please do.
You're welcome.
I feel like we can't really talk. We're playing Patty Cake with the robot duck.
I don't like this fact I can't see my sister's face, but not much I can do about it.
While you guys are
I
waiting,
can take
you
it
would have
off
heard
when we stop for that.
Okay. While you guys were waiting, you would have heard more cycles of that laughter. It starts slow, building up, and then it starts echoing back and forth until it reaches a crescendo, and there's silence for a minute. Almost like whatever's laughing startles itself.
Can I, while this is happening, can we keep track of the wind movements?
There's no wind.
Okay, so my initial thought
still.
was howling chasm in the stones that, for some reason, make it sound as if they're screaming, but just wind passes through rocks. Oh, wow, Madness Cavern, nice.
So, we have about a half hour left of the game. What would you guys like to do with that?
Go to the Muhaha.
All right. You move forward to the bridge.
Muhaha.
Did you want to leave the helmet on for now, Elspeth?
I'll leave it on for now, yeah.
Okay. So you move forward to Ataaz Muhaha.
That helmet is creepy.
Yes. I chose her specifically because it fits what I think is going to be Elspeth's journey and character arc, and also wand wielder. She's specifically the... Anyway, we'll learn that lore later. I won't just tell
Hope
you.
says that out loud.
Yeah. Okay, that works, yeah.
That helmet is pretty creepy.
Actually, would Elspeth, would you share the name of this with Hope, or would you keep her name to yourself?
Yeah, I'd share it with her.
Okay, give me a history check, Hope.
All right, history
See
check.
what you know about Gondol.
Let's see if I actually do well on a history check for once in a while. It's a 12.
Okay. You don't remember anything in particular. She's one of the several names. There are dozens and dozens of Valkyrie names. They all sound fairly similar. Wand wielder is interesting.
I guess it's not some sort of vision of when Mother was, well, before.
Yeah, I don't want to give this to you with a 12, but there is something familiar about that name that you've seen before. You can't place it. So you might want to investigate that later. It's right on the tip of your tongue. But for now.
Do we get more specifics? Does the rest of the party get specifics about what they found, or?
That's great. That's a great question. Would you guys share what you found exactly?
I'm on.
Yeah, I'll
It's
say
Nice.
there was a body of a Valkyrie and her steed.
Right.
That's strange.
Anything else about this you can tell us?
That's all there is, really. She had a suit of armor and she
Like
was
in
missing
your
her
dream?
head, so I put the helmet.
But so someone decapitated her or something? But
Yeah,
left the helmet?
I saw it in my dream. It was a giant, a frost giant.
Do you think maybe this frost giant took the head as a trophy?
They might have. I don't know exactly. Did we find a head?
No, she says that was all there was. There was no skull, no head, just the helmet. It was empty on the inside.
But the rest of the body was there.
Yeah,
Did Elspeth take the rest of the armor or just the helmet?
just the helmet.
Just
That's
the
why I had
helmet.
to change the text on the magic item, because she was only taking the helmet, not the full armor set.
Boring. No, that's fine. Yeah, definitely a trophy then, because if some divine beings evaporate into mana when they die, but if just the head was missing, that's definitely been taken. I wonder why.
Elspeth, give me an insight check, and then we'll jump over to the bridge, so we can actually get a little more forward progress, and not just lore.
Alright. 13.
Okay. She said something about riding you. It would make sense if she was trying to take over your body. The body
Yeah.
that you found may not have been the original body of the entity in the helmet.
Oh, yeah. I'll say, I don't think the body was actually a celestial. I think it was just someone that was like an avatar of some sort.
Well, then that still means that my theory might hold true.
What's there?
Taking the head as a trophy.
Potentially.
As you're having this very serious conversation, the laughing keeps getting louder and louder. And
Right,
up
that's
ahead,
good to see what that is.
up ahead, you see a large stone bridge, and I will bring us to the map. What you see before you
Giant.
is
That would be funny.
a large stone bridge crossing the chasm. It is about 100 feet across, and you can see 100 feet down that very sluggish, shallow river just sort of carrying its way down. And this close to the bridge, you see the source of the laughter. In and amongst many statues and carvings of various monkeys in fits of laughter, you see just dozens and dozens of tiny little capuchin monkeys with their tails wrapped around different statues hanging. They're all just laughing at one another. And as one laughs, another one sees him laughing and laughs even harder. And then another monkey sees that monkey laughing and laughs even harder. And it gets louder and louder and louder until it gets so loud that all the monkeys get scared and hide. And then, a monkey drops a piece of fruit and starts laughing, and then the whole process starts all over again.
These are statues of monkeys, or they actually...
There are statues of monkeys on the bridge, but running across the bridge, scampering along the sides, and you see hanging underneath by their tails dozens of monkeys. They're just hanging out, and just again they'll scare themselves into being quiet, and then one of them will fart, and the laughing will start all over again.
The side view has a dinosaur on it.
They do. That's just for scale. Like you'd be a long time above a brontosaurus's head on top of this thing. Yes,
the dinosaur.
You on the side of you, you're on the leftmost side of the bridge. You can see that these statues of monkeys are sort of crowned by this very, very large statue of a monkey directly in the center of the bridge, facing you guys.
So, do we think statues are going to come alive, or...?
I'm pretty sure it's just statues. Saka, this is just a bridge, right?
She nods and she says, they call it the Monkey Bridge. I imagine you can see why. I've never crossed it myself. I've always gone the long way. I'm not a big fan of heights. The locals have a superstition. You need to trace your finger along the maze. She points, and you can see that in and amongst the carvings, there's this intricate knotwork of this interconnecting lines and embossing all along the stone. It gives the whole stone this odd textured appearance. It's faded in places, it's covered in moss in others. But she says, they say to get the blessing of the god of the jungle, Ubtao, you need to trace your path across the bridge. And once you make it to the other side, Ubtao's blessing will be upon you, and you won't die from the fall. You can see why I didn't come here often myself.
Well, when it's Chult, there's Chultans, I guess. And it just will puff out my chest and bravely move forward, tracing the lines.
So with that, I'll have you make the first check here. I just need to read this real quick, just to double check I'm not missing anything. Sorry, everybody. I did read this earlier, okay, but I'm double checking. There we go. Okay. How do you approach this, Mia? How does Lucia is going to be leading this charge? How do you approach this tracking of your finger along the maze?
I'm not certain what you want to hear from me, so they just trace it with a finger, right? So
okay.
My next finger just trace the line.
Okay. So you're going to give
me... I will ask Saka, do I trace it behind my steps or in front of my steps?
She thinks for a minute. Going to have her make an intelligence check to see if she gleans anything or knows anything. Intelligence check. Intelligence check. Boop. That's a 3. She shrugs. She says, I haven't heard anything more from the locals about that. I guess just, keep your finger on it?
In lieu of looking absolutely stupid, I will just do both.
Okay.
And she
says,
like, weirdly sidewalks, like one finger to the left, one finger to the right as she like traces the thing.
Okay.
And looks absolutely stupid. Not as elegant as she normally is. Or speaking of though, look at the kitty.
All right. As you are doing this, I would like you to make an intelligence check as you are making your way across the bridge. As you are tracing your way.
Let up intelligence.
And as me is rolling this, I'm going to ask everybody else. Are you guys going to follow Lucia, or are you going to wait and see what happens to Lucia?
Wait and see what happens, but keeping a very keen eye on what Lucia is doing in case you have to follow it.
Yeah. You trace your way down. You notice very quickly that the maze is pretty badly damaged. And there's a couple spots where you go down a dead end and you have to retrace your steps a bit and then follow it back again. But with a 15, you manage to keep your finger and your eye on it the whole way across. And you're actually startled when you find yourself halfway across the bridge. And you look up to see this towering monkey stone, this stone monkey over you. I believe it has one gem in its eye. Oh no, it has 2 gems in its eyes. This monkey is sitting there with his palms outstretched, palms up, and it is just sort of peering with this imperious gaze on its face. And you can see there are these 2 clear gems in its eyes, just sort of sparkling in the sunlight. At the feet of the statue, you're startled to find a skeleton dressed in simple leathering adventuring robes with a little rotted pack at his side. And a little dagger in his hand.
Okay. Looks like a normal dagger, I'm guessing.
As far as you can tell.
I will do my best to ignore him. And was there something that we had to do with the statue, Asaka? You know anything? Or is it just...
You're going to have to shout back because you're about 50 feet away now.
I don't want to shout here.
Okay.
Considering this is something odd, so I would just keep going and try to like scooch over to the side, past to that.
Yeah. There's plenty of room to get around it. The gap on either side of it is a generous 5 feet on either side of the statue. So you're able to squish your way across. I'd like you to make me another intelligence ability check to track the next section of the bridge. 6. Okay. You get another 10 feet or so when you found you've lost your way. And you don't know quite how to get back. You're stuck in the maze. And you don't know how to get back out. You keep going across the same area over and over again.
Sorry, my brain emptied. Could you remind us again how exactly this puzzle works?
There's a maze.
You don't know the puzzle yet. You just know that Azaka said there's a superstition to get across the bridge safely. You have to, with your finger, trace the maze to the other side of the bridge. And unfortunately...
Trace... So like as to grass finger on the ground tracing a maze.
Yes. On the walls too. The maze is everywhere. It's not a super complex maze, but it's bridge spanning. And so Lucia is following this, and unfortunately, Lucia got to a section where she can't really undo. She keeps going over the same section. She's a little stuck for a couple minutes. At this point, she's a good 70 feet from you guys.
I think I'm gonna start following the maze to catch up to her.
Intelligence ability.
Yeah, Olaf is gonna do the same.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do this. Yeah, we'll do them in order. So, Lucia.
Yeah, so let Elspeth.
Elspeth goes first.
5.
5. You very quickly get lost. You hit a dead end, and you back it up, and you hit another dead end, and you go forward and you follow. You hit another dead end. You can't really find your way forward. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Olaf gets a little further than you, and then has the same problem.
Mm-hmm. So, how far exactly am I? How many monkeys
maybe another
deep
10
am
feet.
I? So, that...
Yeah, Hope is also stuck pretty quickly. Why don't you give me a roll for Azaka, Lucia?
Oh, sure.
Or not Lucia.
I mean, is she going to do it?
Intelligence check. Nope.
6.
All of them are stuck on the other side of the bridge.
Right.
Azaka, getting frustrated, looks at the lot of you and looks up ahead at Lucia, and she says, I don't want to leave her alone over there.
It's fine. Well, let me just try this again. I'm trying to also use the information based on what they watched from Lucia and how far they got. He's going to roll another intelligence check.
Okay.
I don't expect advantage out of this, just trying to intuit this. 19.
Okay. With that, Olaf starts tracing the way on the bridge. What is everybody else going to do? Olaf begins moving forward again.
And I try to look a bit closer at the pattern.
Yeah. Give me a wisdom perception check if you want to use a different skill on this one.
But I guess I have disadvantage. My idea would basically do perception.
You are in sunlight, so this is seeing, so you would be at disadvantage from the...
Yeah. 19 still.
Still pretty good. You see the problem. There is a bit of lichen that grew over, and when you traced your finger over that path, it sort of flopped back over it, and you didn't notice it.
Oh.
So you gently reach over and lift up that passage of lichen, and you're back on the trail again. You found the spot where you got stuck. So if you want to make me another intelligence check.
What if we get stuck again?
Well, a crit fail.
We still have the guaranteed success if someone wants to use it.
That's true. That's true.
Almost the end. Oh no, we have to do it before the roll. Ignore that.
With that, no, you now know, even though your crit fail isn't going to help you, it doesn't seem to be a bad thing if you scrape your way ahead of you. You're staying on the trail, but the trail's grown over in some spots, so it's okay to scrape ahead of you. Nothing bad happened to you. So you're quite a ways ahead of everybody else, but you can absolutely shout that back again if you want.
I don't want to shout, so...
Okay. So everybody else is making their way. It's real rough. I would like everybody else. Lucia's past the halfway point. I'm going to say Lucia makes it to the end. It just takes her a long time. The four of you, Zok included, that haven't reached the halfway point yet, I would like all of you to make concentration checks. Because this is really scratching your brain in a bad way. Well, actually, no, Olaf, you would have reached the middle with a 19.
Okay, so I'm here.
Yeah, Olaf, you're directly in front of the statue. You look down, you see the skeleton with a dagger. You see the monkey staring imperiously off to the west with its glittery eyes. Okay.
I can basically surmise that this person died from trying to steal the gems or something.
I mean, maybe. Okay, none of you lift your fingers off of the maze when you reach the center, and you're all in the middle now. Your fingers are diligently tracking the maze. You peer up at the statue who is, just looking out in the distance. Do you want to continue on your way, or do you want to stop?
Continue?
Continue, I believe. There's no real reason to stick around this monkey.
Okay.
Wait, the people just collapsed. How did Mia make the last portion? Did they jump?
Nope.
Oh, no, you would be right at the edge of that gap. Sorry, Mia. One more intelligence check from the lot of you.
I believe everyone is following me at this point.
Well, they wouldn't. You didn't start that way.
21!
Hey, hope you're great. You meet up with Lucia. Olaf meets up with Lucia. Now you're rolling really well. Now we just need Azaka and Elspeth. Okay.
I'm assuming that if we roll like as high as we do, we get to Lucia.
Yeah. Azaka and Elspeth, you hit a dead end. Azaka's getting really frustrated at this point.
So is Elspeth.
Yeah.
If basically as Olaf starts to trail off without them, can he just basically give them some pointers to follow him?
Sure.
To give them advantage.
That I don't imagine being mansplained how to do a maze is going to help these two very strong women.
Not mansplained how to do the maze. Just I went this way.
I would like
it's
the
working.
two of you to make concentration checks to keep your hands on this.
I don't
gone
want to
poorly
mansplain.
enough.
I'm just autistic.
All right, one more for Azaka.
I mean, sure.
Elspeth is going to take her hand off the maze and just say, fuck this, I'm just going to fly across.
All right. Yeah, okay. Azaka manages to keep her cool and keep her finger on. She turns to you and she says, you guys are probably about here. No, she turns across the bridge and says, Elspeth, we don't know what... And then you hear a grinding sound as the monkey suddenly stands up and turns at you and runs at you. I would like everybody to roll an intelligence.
I'm so sorry, but there's just such a comical thing in my head.
I was fucking right.
We might need to... I'm sorry. Remember your initiative rolls. I forgot to clear it from the last time.
Damn. Well, it's not that to crit.
I am so upset right now.
All right, initiative. That's a natural one.
Okay.
Another natural one. It's fine. This is the story of how Olaf and Hope became best friends beneath the fucking paw of a stone monkey.
I'm going to say the golem probably had advantage, so I'm going to give it advantage. Or surprise, so I'm probably going to... is that? No, the 15's still better. Okay. With that, Azaka's going to turn around. What does Azaka do at this point? Mia? I feel like she's given up on the maze. She's like, fuck this, we triggered the trap, let's go.
Yeah.
So how do you think Azaka would play?
Would she be taking a page out of Lucia's book and just be like, okay, we just leave the bridge?
That's reasonable. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
She's going to look this thing up and down. So she is instead going to jump this way. She's going to pick you up, Elspeth. Do you resist?
Do you want to get thrown?
No.
Are you going to be gimli?
Okay. She picks you up, and she runs the rest of her movement speed to the edge here. You're up next, Elspeth. So you are currently...
You have not sorted...
I'm sorry. Lucia is next. There we go. My
How far
apologies.
down is it here? Right next to us?
So, Lucia, what you are looking at in front of you is a 20-foot gap. There are a number of vines hanging between this gap. So you can either jump or try to climb your way across. It is entirely up to you.
How far down is it?
Oh, at this point, it's a pretty sheer drop. You're looking at about 80 feet.
80.
Yeah. Yeah, I said it's pretty sheer.
Jeez.
Yep.
So 80 would be what, 76?
Something like that, yeah.
Mine's
not good.
20 because I'm a monk.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you would be fine. Yeah, you see it's either a very large jump or you can try to climb your way down on the vines.
Well, I'm a monk.
Meanwhile,
So-
this giant stone monkey with gem eyes is chasing you.
If I had stunning strike, I would go and stun it, but I get it like level 5 or 6. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go back a bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the dash as well.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna do a running long jump.
All right.
I don't know the exact calculation for those.
Jumping rules. It's jumping rules.
But was it strength? I think it was strength.
Jumping 5e. Jumping. There we go. Long jump. Strength score. Number of feet up to your strength score. If you move at least 10 feet.
That's 10.
Okay.
Wait, then
At least 10.
I always forget that it's not that it's strength. That makes no sense because I wouldn't know I couldn't make this.
I will give you a dexterity save if you want to try to grab a vine on the way.
Oh, like swing from a vine?
Yeah, you're going to get 10 feet out. Give me a dexterity save to see if you can catch something on the way.
There we go.
Oh, easily, yeah. You leap, you realize you're not going to make it, you easily grab onto a vine. And the vine immediately begins to unravel, and you feel yourself dropping, and then it catches. But now you're dangling under the bridge. And you turn and look around, and there are a bunch of very angry monkeys looking at you. And as you watch, a couple of them reach down, scratch their behinds, and come up with handfuls of poop.
No!
Oh, right.
Wait, can I not just use the momentum from the vine to just swing across and then let go?
Oh, true. Yeah,
That
you
was
can
my-
absolutely do
my
that. You
fault.
still have movement. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
fair.
I have like 80 feet of movement,
Yeah.
and I can have 120 if I want to.
A bunch
I guess
of poop flings past your face, narrowly missing you as these monkeys don't take kindly to things being under the bridge with them.
I guess I do like a nice little, like 5 rolls forwards in the air, and then just land with like arms stretched out. Ta-da!
Beautiful.
Quick
Beautiful.
question: are these Sioux monster monkeys? The monkeys with the skull
I think it's-
masks?
You haven't seen any. They look just mostly like capuchin monkeys, like the monkey from Pirates of the Caribbean. they're like-
Damn.
Maybe house cat sized.
Huntable.
Yeah, very much so. Not much of a threat, but when you're dangling and they're throwing stuff at you, it might pose a problem. However, the stone golem gets to go next. So the stone golem is going to run directly at Lucia, or Elspeth and Azaka, and it is going to come forward and thrust out with its arms to try to shove you. So this
All right.
is going to be against Elspeth, but I will give you advantage on your save because you are anchored in Azaka's arms. So if you could make me a strength saving throw with advantage, please, as the golem tries to shove you.
Oh, 17.
You make it. So with Azaka's help, these stone monkey hands slam into you, but you don't go hurtling off the edge. The golem then looks, well, it doesn't have much of an expression. It's stone. It is then going to turn around and instead try to slam you in the face. Does 27 hit your AC?
That hit.
Okay. You take 19 bludgeoning damage as
I'm on-
it can't shove you, whacks you on the top of the head instead.
I'm on 7 hit points.
It's your turn.
All
That's
right.
rough, buddy.
You can hear the monkeys are laughing hysterically at this point.
Let's see. I'm gonna action Radiant Soul.
Okay.
So the spectral electric wings spread from my back,
Mhm.
and I'm then gonna, before casting a leveled spell, I'm gonna move 10 feet back and a few feet into the air.
He will take his opportunity attack.
That's without provoking opportunity attack. It's
Never mind. You're right.
The storm sorcerer thing.
Right.
And then I will cast I'll cast command on him.
Okay. What do you command?
I'm gonna command him just looking with my extra altitude, looking down on the stone golem. I'm just gonna tell it to kneel.
Okay.
So I'm gonna want it to fall prone and end its turn.
Enchantment 1. I wish it would just say if it was a charm right at the top. That would be nice.
I don't think it's a charm.
I don't think this is a charm. No? So you told it to kneel?
Yes, going for the grovel effect.
Okay. I will roll a save. If it will let me. Yeah, there we go. Did I roll it twice? There we go. It fails.
Nice.
So you watch as
fails.
it kneels, going prone, functionally.
Yep.
It will spend its
It'll do that on its turn.
sorry, yes. You see no expression resulting from this creature, but it begins to grind as it kneels in place. Hope. And then Olaf with a 1.1. Riley, that's you. I don't know if you're here still.
Oh shit, I forgot to unmute myself. I just said, oh man, that 1.1, shaking my head. So Hope is going to look at the creepy monkey dude and is gonna say, leave my sister alone. And is going to cast his new spell.
Hey.
That's a 13 to hit.
Unfortunately, it explodes harmlessly off of the stone skin of this thing. Does not seem badly affected.
Okay, that didn't work.
Okay.
Maybe don't piss this thing off.
You saw how Elspeth got across.
Elspeth
Or sorry, Lucia.
flew.
Yes, you saw how Lucia got across. Would you like to try a similar route?
Sure.
All right. So what is your strength score?
My strength is -1.
Okay. So you can jump 10 feet across, and then I will have you make a dexterity saving throw to catch a vine.
All right. Dexterity saving throw. That's
Yeah.
a 21.
Easily. You catch a vine, you swing across the other side. More poop flings harmlessly past you. You are not hit. You land on the other side, safely next to Lucia, panting. Olaf.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope.
Hi.
You heard Lucia ask. Or you hear them talk on the other side of the bridge.
Lucia seems very relaxed. She is certain it's going to be fine.
Anyways, so my strength score is a 14.
Okay.
Does
you
that
get
mean I can
14
just
feet?
jump across?
15 feet.
I'm 1 foot short, motherfucker.
Oh, it's
Damn,
20
that
feet across,
sucks.
so you're 5 feet short.
Oh, right. I thought it was 15 foot across because I was measuring like
20 feet.
I guess I was measuring gorge to gorge, not gorge to safe spot.
What this means is that the DC for catching a vine is lower. So,
Okay.
you may go ahead.
Is it death if I just drop?
Not necessarily. I'm not going to instant kill you. But
Okay.
you'll have to struggle your way back up.
Dexterity saving throw, yes?
Yeah. See if you can catch a vine after you leap.
It's just a straight D20. 5.
Yeah, so the main DC is 10. The lower DC was 7.
I can't really do anything about
You leap. You get 15 feet across. Lucia and Hope and Elspeth, you see he's almost there. He goes down. And Olaf, you just get your hand on a vine and a big pat of monkey poop hits you in the face. And you begin tumbling backwards.
Oh no.
How does everybody else react to this?
I will feather fall.
Okay. With that, your descent slows enough that you're able to grab onto a vine. But you are stationary. You're going to have to climb your way up next
He's
time.
gonna sort of like grab his face, fling the monkey poop off, and he is going to look at the monkeys menacingly.
Yeah, you can see the rest of them. They're laughing hysterically, and they're ready to beat the shit out of you. Azaka gets to go. Azaka sees this thing in the midst of kneeling. She's going to turn around, and she's going to take a running leap at the edge here. She has a strength of 17. So she makes it basically all the way across. Could you give me a dex save for Azaka?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think with the crit, she deliberately jumps too low, and she grabs you by the scruff of the neck, Olaf, and she yanks you up just as another bunch of monkey poops hits the space you're at. And she's going to climb the rest of the way up to the top. You watch as your spell finishes. The monkey statue stands back up, stares at you for a moment, expressionless, and then turns around and clomps back up to his spot and becomes motionless once again. And the monkeys are quiet for a minute. And then you hear a raspberry sound out from underneath. And then all the monkeys start laughing again.
Elspeth, could you do me a massive favor before I start hyperventilating?
I'll pick you up from the vines and carry you up.
Oh no,
no, the poop.
Yeah, sure. Sorry. I'll zap it off you.
Yeah, I'm assuming that it gets like burnt off with lightning, and he's just like, "Thank you so much." Although I think you shaved for me this week.
No, that's good.
It just looks slightly singed stubble.
I might not go back for a bit.
You know what? I've been meaning to shave. It's fine. This simplifies things for a while.
I think that's a good place to end today.
Elspeth's electrolysis clinic.
Yep. Yep. So you walk away from the Laughing Gorge almost halfway through this day. I'm going to just update our clock real quick since another day passed. Well, we didn't use any of our dice today. Do we want to carry those over into the next game?
Might as well. It seemed like this was a pretty uneventful day.
Yep. All right. So we'll carry those over into next week. Thank you for playing. And any thoughts? And any immediate criticisms? Any complaints? Any joys?
Everything was terrible.
Thank you. I'm glad you validated my feelings.
No, everything was great. I loved it.
Thank you. Why don't we just talk? What's a funny thing you remember, and what's a sad thing you remember from this session, even if we don't apply dice to it?
The poop was unfortunate, but that's a given.
It's kind of a theme at this point. I didn't intend it necessarily, but it does come up a lot in the book.
Not the scat campaign.
Yeah.
Olaf is a stinky boy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a stinky boy.
If any group was going to be called the Shits, it really fits you guys.
No.
Please, no. Can we just have some cool name or something?
If heights and shit have been the main antagonists of this campaign.
High Shits.
The final boss is going to be on top of a mountain. It's going to be a shambling mound made of shit.
The Great and Mighty Pooh.
We could be.
He's going to throw some shit at you.
Valkyrie fucking died. That's not
a good game.
Yeah.
That was sucky.
I don't know how to feel about having this helmet that might just take over my body at some point. I think Elspeth was pretty freaked out about that. But
yeah.
It's fine. If it takes over your body, we'll decapitate you.
Yeah, we'll do it the next time.
Yeah, we'll see what powers it gives her. She'll decide whether it's worth it to keep it around.
I will say for Levi completed the maze unnaturally quick. They have a magic item that is exactly suited to this purpose. So Levi gets across with zero troubles whatsoever.
I don't know. We need to find a party name of some kind.
Some kind. Yeah.
I think Lucia is a bit salty towards Elspeth.
Oh, yeah?
Why?
Just giving up and actually bringing the group in danger. And she didn't really trust her much before, so I think she's now at the, okay, I'm traveling with her, but that's about it.
I was trying to bring you two together.
Well, unfortunate.
This always happens with your characters. I try to make it nice. Then you're just always salty to each other.
And
so trans women like attract each other just specifically so they can be like the most annoying people.
You know, that does check out. That does check out. So it's the trans particles. You both admire and hate each other. It's just the way it works.
Yeah, that's what we're putting in the water.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. It's you're both positively charged magnets, and you're just like, no, it won't work. Stop. That did not
I know
go the
you
way I
joke
meant it
at
to.
me, but please stop turning all my tap water pink. I genuinely don't know whether or not it's dirty.
I put hormones in your monster.
Yeah? I just realized I've been muted this entire time.
Oh no!
No.
But we were talking about tragic things. I was like,
Yes.
the Pegasus died,
Oh yeah, that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
which is very sad.
It's not quite a unicorn. I stole some unicorn imagery from the world's biggest bigot. But you know what? It's a great thing. And you know what? Even assholes can make magic sometimes. Speaking of which,
Horses are good.
fuck the crown.
But
and,
also,
happy treason season.
the magnet, the magnetic pull of trans women just is like, this explains why almost all of my trans friends are trans women.
It's true.
Because opposites attract.
Yep.
With magnets.
Also, we like
I can't find any trans men.
trans people always find each other. Like if you know one trans person, you know like 30 trans people. They just come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. Anyway.
But
know, like,
for me, it's
5
all trans women.
It's like 3 trans men. And when I say no, I mean like people I actively talk to on a weekly basis. We need more.
Anyway, last thing I'll say before I stop the recording, unless anybody else has anything to add, I very much support trans rights, and all of us do here. We love trans people. We stand with them in their fight however we can. Fuck conservatives. Fuck the crown. Happy treason season. Bless you all, and thank you so much for playing and being my friends. I really like playing with you guys, even when the sessions are a little bit herky-jerky like today.
Oh no. It's
Yeah,
right.
also, I want to say we also support trans wrongs.
Trans rights and trans rights, yes.
I do quite a lot of wrong.
Yeah. Dating a trans woman now, I'm familiar with a lot of them.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. It's
I'm
very
finally
nice.
doing voice training.
Well,
Just
I'm
like-
going to stop recording now
Yeah.
just in case this probably isn't relevant to the game. Just,
No.
Hi, Hana, when you listen later. Let me know if Levi would have contributed anything. I did my best to play them well. I was going to have them say something to Elspeth about power, but you know what? You can do that later. Completely up to you. It's your character. Bye, everybody.